Hey, there we go. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. This is the background that I would normally use to stream stuff on, and I didn't like that it was cutting off part of the image there in the corner. As you can see where I'm at, it's down there, so I'm actually starting a different background. You guys will have to let me know if it is any good. It looks like the chat is supposed to be loading in there, but it hasn't. Let's see what happens here if I refresh that. You never know what's going to happen with streams and things like that, so if that doesn't work, I'll just make it disappear for good, and then we'll just have to add it back on later. But I'm going to try that one more time in a very professional move here of fixing things as we get started. So, how's everyone doing tonight? Like, so I had a couple people stop by. Mackenzie Peters has already stopped by. Says, how's everyone here? Doing well tonight. Hopefully you all are as well. Savage Duck also says good. If you count games on sale, which, yes, I do. And we'll get into the criteria of what's going to make it into this stream here. We're going to start with Revenge of the Bird King because I tweeted out about that a little bit. But yes, we are going to talk about all of these were on sale. Don't know if they currently still are, but they were not that expensive to begin with. But I'll show you my process here on how I found these games, and we may take a quick look at the eShop as we're getting started as well. So if you're just joining me, I'm just trying to troubleshoot real quick why the chat function that I got going is not working. There we go. Let's get this on one more time. This way I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth between two different windows to fix that. It is not a local file. There it is. Refresh when scene becomes active. Looks good. Let's click OK. There we go. Now I've got some chat back. Doesn't quite look legible, but you know, we'll mess with that as we go through here. So, and then Hunter says, hey Hunter, how's it going? Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I always gotta look and see if you can hear the game audio and the microphone audio that I have going on here too. Different microphone this time. I'm still trying to perfect my streaming setup, so we'll see exactly how this goes on. I just realized something. So when I'm downstairs, the way I look at the TV, I'm always looking in, what is that? I think it's this direction, yeah. And here I'm looking kind of straight on, but the camera's at an angle, so it doesn't look like I'm looking at the screen from here. So I may adjust this a bit further, but I'm liking how this is looking. And of course we got the chat in there. Unfortunately, it's way too small for me to see in person, so I'll still have to bring up the stream there. But yeah, we haven't gotten started yet because this was supposed to start at 6. So I'm going to show you my criteria here for what games made it into this stream. Let's go into the eShop here. And I'm not going to buy any games. I've already bought the ones I'm going to feature. But here's how I determine which games were going to show up here. It actually looks like everything changed because Animal Crossing New Horizons, Minecraft Dungeons wasn't on this featured page here, so there's definitely been some changes. But if you go to the search on your store, you can sort by price range, and it'll give you certain price ranges you can take a look at. So here we have our $50 games. These are probably all your Nintendo titles. For some strange reason, Nintendo has not put any of their own games, I don't want to say ever, on sale. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a Wii U title that came out, and they ported it to the Switch, and the thing still costs $60 3 years later. This has been out for 3 years since the Switch has been out. So a little bit excessive to me. Yeah, all their deals have changed because this game was $20. Of course, it's going to vary by region, but this stuff is still the same. So Night Trap would count as one of the cheaper games, but it's not one of the cheapest games. And no, I didn't buy it because was it Howard Lincoln, who worked for Nintendo, that said that they would never put Night Trap on a Nintendo console back in the day. I kind of take some of that stuff still seriously. But anyway, if you view by the cheapest games, you can go up here to your filter and switch it, price low to high, and these are the games you are going to be taking a look at, folks. And yes, things have changed. So some of these games, I'll have to go through this again. Some of these games are still cheap, but all of the ones I bought were from this lower category. See, some of these things like Timberman Versus here, Lions XL, all of these were all cheap. So the average price I paid for these games was probably around 25 cents. So I'm not really looking at being too judgmental about all this. Man, it's crazy to see some of the games in here. I don't know why 2048 Battles, even though it's 3 cents, shows up in between stuff that's 39 cents. That's crazy. So it's not 100% foolproof, but this will let you know what the cheapest games are. So if you wanted to try out any of these games for yourself, this will let you know exactly here what it's supposed to be. Sorry, that was my computer, which should have been muted. There we go. Showing up stuff here. But yeah, so as you can tell, most of the ones we're going to play today were under 49 cents. There's a couple that were above that. And I do have some physical titles if we wanted to do that as well. So I'm going to close out of the store. And the first game we're going to try is Revenge of the Bird King. I actually tweeted out about this after playing this game for about 20 minutes or so. And I really did think to myself that I was immediately taken back to games that I used to play all the time on the Nintendo Entertainment System, where we just called it the Nintendo. And it just really captures that feeling of an NES game, and that's something I really like doing on the channel, so here it is. And if you listen to that kick in the soundtrack, it's got a bass line that really just kind of hooked me in right away, and I actually just sat here and listened to the music for a little while. It's just a simple, about minute-long song that you would normally hear on the NES, and I like the plain black background. Some people are like, oh, this looks like very lazy, like they just put the logo up there. And by the way, what a name. Revenge of the Bird King. I thought it was kind of a little silly myself, but I mean, it kind of fits the style of the game they were going for, so obviously there's some games that may be better suited. I'm actually going to look at the chat again here separately and see if it's updating on its own. Alright, perfect. We haven't seen it in here. So I'm just getting things ready here as we're starting up. Stream doesn't officially start until 6 o'clock, but I may get started on this game a little bit. So I am going to start this game from scratch, but anyway, some people said this game may have been a mobile game first, and that's possible, but I don't think... It might not have been. It definitely came out on the Switch, obviously, but it says 2018 M7. I think that's just from this port, because I also saw this came out for the Vita, and that does not surprise me at all when it came out for that. Hey, Damon, welcome to the stream. I gotta look and see if that actually updated on my chat here. That's a experimental function, and it works. I remember on the PlayStation they couldn't get the chat feature wasn't working well, so I'm very curious about this game. I am as well. Kind of. I played through the first level. It took me. I probably played it for about 20 minutes, just kind of poking around with it and trying to figure out what it's all about. And I recommended it out because this game I bought for a grand total of 1 cent. When I was looking, I just looked at the Switch eShop again, and hey OXO, how's it going? Evening to yourself as well. I think it's should be evening where you're at as well, isn't it? Or you're probably later on at night. I can't remember exactly where your region is until you always remind me. Yep, 1 cent. So it was on sale. I think the original retail price was like $1.99. So it's not really like a full-fledged AAA title, but as I was playing it, I'm not kidding, that first level really showcased exactly what the game is supposed to be, and they did it very well. It is... I'll talk about it as I go through here, but right now I'm just kind of slowly easing into this. I'm starting out... This was the cheapest game I bought out of all the selections, and it's the only one I've played so far, which is kind of hilarious to think. I bought all these over the weekend because I heard they were doing some Switch sales, and what got me on this topic was they had Thief Simulator for sale, and another one. I can't remember what the other one was. Obviously, Thief Simulator was the one I was more interested in. And it was $1.99, and I thought, what is the cheapest game I can buy on the Switch right now? So I went, just like I just showed you. Yeah, you're in the late evening. Yep, I thought so, because you're in the... you're across the pond, as you would say. Or at least people around your region may say. 11 p.m. Yeah, I try to stream as early as I can, but I don't always get to do this beforehand. But anyway, I'm going to do a new game here, but as soon as I do, this awesome theme's going to stop playing, and I want people to hear this theme because I blared this. I actually turned the volume up and was like, I started getting into it, and sadly, the music fits the aesthetic of the game. Like, this is made like a AAA Nintendo game would have been made back in the day, back in like the 80s. So just imagine that 2018 down there at the bottom. Imagine that says 1988, and that would fit this game better. But anyway, also let me know how you guys like the new setup that I have here. As I said, I was tired of my picture cutting off part of the game, so I fixed it to where I have my logos off of the screen, my camera off the screen, and I even embedded the chat. That was something I just learned how to do before the stream started. That's the experimental function. And I have the game fully visible. That's something that I really wanted to do because sometimes I am able to capture the game while I stream. In this setup where I'm at right now, I do not have that ability. So if I do want to share some clips from the game, I'll have to edit it from this footage. So, and that's alright, I'm okay with doing that. Alright, but if that theme's starting to get annoying now, it doesn't get annoying to me, but I can see how some people would. I'm going to go ahead and press start. I think. There we go. And it's going to go through the story here, which it goes pretty quick. I'll let you guys come back and read it if you really want to. It's not a really strong story. But there's a part here where it says, yeah, on Gun World, guns grow on trees, so just go with it, okay? Because it sounds like they're trying to come up with... It sounds like they came up with the gameplay first and then built a story around it, which is, I mean, that's the way most games I think are designed. Strangely, especially games like Uncharted, that really surprised me, where they would build the levels first and then build a story around it. So here is the main screen, and this is... They really went full 8-bit style with this. Obviously, it's in 16:9 aspect ratio. And it's I think it's in 1080p, or it could be 720 upscaled. But yeah, this game already looks great to me. It looks gorgeous. Definitely having that style. So I have jump. I have slash, which is, okay, it's really strange to explain this, but the controls will get me a little bit here, because B is jump, and X is slash. If you press A, which is the button that I always want to do this, it shoots out this gun, and I'm like, what do I do here? I tried pressing up to get the gun, down to get the gun, I tried pressing A again, and that finally is what gets it. But every time I press A, it just grows another gun. So I'm trying to figure out what is this doing. Well, why a shoot? So far I'm showing you this is every button in the controller. Jump, grow a gun, grab the gun is the same button. Shoot the gun is across from grow the gun, and then this is slash. So it's just really strange how you should do this here. And of course you have these little guide birds through here. Hey Mackenzie, how's it going? How was my weekend? Had the best weekend ever in a long time. Found a loose copy of Donkey Kong Country for $2.50. That is an awesome find. Don't know if I could... Okay, so sorry, I got a message from my streamer saying that it was a bit overloaded. Which is strange because the CPU usage is fine. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted very easily. Yeah, my weekend was good. I actually, surprisingly, didn't play very many games. I played this game right before I went out camping for the weekend. And so it was nice to be able to go out with some friends and family and just get out of the house for a little while. You know, didn't have to go shopping or anything. See, every time I'm on a fire, I go to the wrong thing, so... I'm glad that you had fun. And, did you play Donkey Kong Country at all this weekend, I'm assuming, then? I wouldn't be able to put it down. I don't know. What are those things? I don't know what I'm killing, but I understand that I kill them, and I get coins for doing so, whatever these coins are used for. And I'm using the gun, but I can also use the knife to slash. So right now, we already got a cross between... I would have called this, like, Blaster Master a little bit, except for there's no vehicle. Oh yeah, I noticed you can't kill these pink things with the knife. You can only knock them back. Hang on. I gotta remember how to shoot. There we go. If I had a nitpick about this game, it's the button layout is a bit off. But not necessarily like Blaster Master. Somebody... I read some reviews trying to get some... things to say about this game. Yes, you did play it right after? Oh, yeah. Speaking of a game with a good soundtrack, did they put... If they put Donkey Kong Country on the Switch, maybe before I'm done tonight I'll play a couple levels of that. Just because you're putting me in the mind of Donkey Kong Country and now I can't get out of it. That's a massive knife, and it isn't just for show. Press X to swing it at weak walls and you can continue. I like it. See, I like this too. I didn't have to read a manual. The game has just explained to me how to play it as I go along. You guys know how much I'm a big fan of that if you've been watching my work for a while. Have I played No Thing? It's often for sale for 50 cents. It's hard but rewarding. So, Savage Duck, I have not played that game, but I think I did buy it. It is one of the cheap ones. So yes, anything around 50-cent price range or less, that is definitely up my alley. Oops, I wonder, do I have unlimited... I didn't even think about that. Do I have unlimited ammunition? I'm thinking so, because there's like a little... Oh, I just died. So, the jumping reminds me a lot of Mega Man. Sorry if I was in the middle of this. Yes, this is Revenge of the Bird King. I was in the middle of a thought, and... Yeah, I gotta remember to pick up the gun. I thought I'd show this off because I tweeted about it, and I thought, well, if I'm going to show this game, I might as well go through some of the other games I bought, too. So yes, we may get to No Thing later on tonight. Sorry, I was just rereading the comments to make sure I probably skipped some of what I wanted to say because I got distracted. I will say, if you're a fan of like 8-bit soundtracks, they did it right. This is pretty faithful to what you would hear if this game was released back in the day. The jumping really makes it feel like, I would say like Mega Man, but even Mega Man didn't have... I had a hard time controlling Mega Man when I was a kid, so maybe I'm not comparing it to the same thing, but you have full control of the character in the air, so it's not like trying to go for a Mario style. Okay, and then every once in a while, I run out of bullets, and I have to regrow another gun by pressing A, and then grabbing the gun again. I guess I could do without that. Again, not to nitpick. And I do like that I had to start at the beginning of the level. No thing has a good soundtrack. So we'll probably try that here in a little while, once I get tired of showcasing this game. Which is strange because it could be that this stream turns into just this game, and I might have to split this off into a part 2. Okay. I have to time my jumps right. There we go. So that jump right there reminds me a lot of the old Mega Man games. So kind of like a cross between Mega Man, Blaster Master, maybe even a bit of Legend of Zelda. The second one, like Zelda 2. Okay. Can I... I'm really afraid I'm going to fall off the cliff. Okay, so I think those blue dots next to my gun, I have unlimited ammo, but I think I'm going to run out of... Yeah, okay, it's like a reload. So I can only carry so many bullets in my gun. As like a clip. And so far, it's kind of funny. I just played part of this weekend before I went out camping, which is why I haven't had a chance to play it since. And I don't think I made it any farther. Okay, I can't do that. Okay. Okay, so he just runs off onto the cliff. I wonder if I was able to get him with bullets enough, I would be able to do a bit more. I haven't even been looking for secrets. Okay. So either that was a level or that was just a part of the stage. Let's see if my bird guy tells me. A true gunman has the upper body strength of a 10 dozen oxen. Yeah, that sounds about right. Show me your biceps. Use ZL, which is the left trigger, to climb with your knife. Can I still shoot? Oh, yeah. So I think that's where I stopped. I think I knew how to get through that level, but this is where I had to stop before I had to put the game down. So this is now all uncharted territory for me. And I can only assume there will be some action jump and platforming sections for this. Okay. I didn't even notice. Do I have like a... Oh! I can't go back any further. Okay. So it does screen lock a little bit. That's an old... something you don't see in modern games too much anymore, is the screen lock. What does this guy get to say? Gun seeds can also be used to plant automatic turrets. Hold A down until the seed hits the soil. Interesting. You can use gun plant turrets to attack out-of-range enemies or set traps. Okay. Interesting. Okay, good. It's a good thing I tried that in the bullets. Okay. Ah. That works. Oops. There it is. Ooh. Oh no. Quick thinking. Ugh. You could probably hear me hammering on the controller trying to... Oh, gotta use my upper body. Ooh, what is that thing? That looks like something out of Plants vs. Zombies. Ooh. Okay. There it is. Nice. I heard this game could get incredibly difficult very quickly. I read some things about it. So that I could... Okay, that reminds me of Mega Man. Didn't think I'd have to deal with that. Ooh, nice. I gotta tell you, I don't know. I'm falling in love with this game. I could recommend it after playing it for 20 minutes. Obviously not for everyone, but... Oh, I forgot this thing does. Okay, so those things like multiply. And I can those multiply when you hit them. What does this say? Cats can flatten themselves and go right through seams of the wall. I've learned this in Philadelphia on planet Earth. This is a fact. You are not a cat, you are a gunman. Your muscles make flattening impossible, but you can use ZR to slide through tight spaces. Okay. Okay, and I don't have to hold down the... That just goes through. That's perfect. Nice little bonus area up there. Can I get there? Okay, I was going to say, can I get stuck? Yeah, you can tell I'm... Oh, there we go. Fake wall. Knew there had to be somewhere. Ooh, big rewards. Sorry, I'm not meaning to ignore the chat here. Okay, cool. You started boycotting... boycotting LRG after they were selling this game for PS4 at one of their booths at an expo. Were they selling physical copies, Mackenzie? I don't think I've seen a physical copy of this. Why would you boycott them for that? Limited run games. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. I knew what you meant by LRG, but I was reading it as I was trying to interpret it. The game was canceled for PS4. The only way you can play this game on PS4 is if you buy the game physically. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Canceled by the devs. Oh, kind of like a Cooking Mama Cookstar. Yeah, that Cooking Mama game cancellation was kind of weird. Nobody knows for sure. The guy who made the game said the game was canceled because a reveal event was canceled. Huh. Hey, 8-Bit, how we doing? SNK. See, and I remembered that stands for SNK, so you gotta give me some credit. I'm not calling you Snack Boy or Snoke Boy or trying to think that stands for something else. Found you, Faker, at the wall? Yeah. This looks like a Commodore 64 game, lol. Yeah, the scrolling's a bit more smooth than what you would see on a Commodore 64 game, but I get what you're saying. This game looks like a Shovel Knight clone, unless it is a Shovel Knight game. It's called Revenge of the Bird King. I actually have not played Shovel Knight, but I did get it for the Wii U, and I'm hoping to play it eventually. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to go. That was risky. The problem is I'm not used to the controls yet, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get competent enough to where I don't just fall off the edge, because I've already fallen off the edge once and it took me right back to the very beginning. So I'd really like to try to avoid that if I can. Yeah. You can tell the anxiety is, oh, I just knocked that enemy off, I didn't get any coins. You can tell that, oh, why? Ha! This is really starting to give me anxiety like back in the day. Oh, that looks nice. I do. Some of these bottomless pit games can give me so much anxiety, especially when the stakes are a lot higher. So the reason... Another fake wall. I don't know how I'm spotting these secrets so easy. Keep going. Nope. I was hoping that'll put a fake floor in to where I just fall to my doom. Oh, what is this thing? Okay. Salamander. This is the right place. Are you sure we have the right day? Nightmare. I do not make mistakes, Lizard. I've been waiting my whole life for this day. The time and location are precise. Okay, so... Alright, I'm not going to read all these out loud. So this is like a tutorial level, and this is introducing all of the bad guys. The sprite artwork in this game is actually pretty on point. It's, I'm liking it. Holy crap, it's the Eagle Man from the book. What book? That's what I was thinking. Was there something I was supposed to get? Each of us received a book on our use that guided us together. Left us very blah blah to these exact coordinates. The Crockett dial? Who's the Crockett dial? I'm assuming that's the guy who's clapping his hands in the air. These eagle people should be extinct. Allitator. What's with these random characters? Okay, this is like Mega Man-ish. There's 6 baddies I gotta take care of. This land is sacred. I'm sworn to protect it. Yep. Okay. Nice. Press to save. I'm assuming that's it. Okay, so I just saved my game. What is this place? Is that my father, and who's that other guy? It looks like a rapper. Gun world is in danger. How do I fix this? My guess is with more guns. It's an illusion. I will find no answers here. Alright, not really big into the story here. So, save the game again. Game is saved. I don't know why, I'm just... Oops. Yeah, I keep doing that. Shop till your enemies drop. Whichever. I don't care. I'm an inanimate machine from another dimension or time. Who cares? Okay. So... What can I do here? I have 3,600 in gold. Okay, so that's all the stuff I was collecting from the levels. This is kind of like an RPG element. Respawn Eagle. Use this to respawn anywhere that you fail. Cheater. Well, I'm going to buy that. Do I have to... I don't know what these other things are. Question mark. Okay, I can't buy the question marks yet, but they're not very expensive. Timeless relic. This is a timeless relic. Well, that means it's useless. You need all 3 pieces to ride this guy. Fishing rod. Probably just a dumb fetch quest item. Squid of returning opens a portal back to the safe zone. Sure. I feel like I'll just save my money for whatever else has to happen. Okay, this is very Zelda 2. Oh, and I should have known. The music got a lot louder. Already lost a heart. Okay, so I'm very intrigued for a penny. I think I've already gotten my money's worth, and I feel like this could give me my money's worth for a few more days. Okay. Oh. So I lost 2 hearts doing that. Probably gonna die here pretty soon. Alright. Not a big fan of those loading screens. That will be gone. Really appreciating the fake walls here. Missed that coin. Okay. Do I hit that with my... Ah! Oh, my gun's gone. Am I trying to shoot? I don't have anything. I can't get back up there. Oh! Okay. Not sure what I was supposed to do to that thing, but I'm sure. There it is again. So I almost don't know when he's going to turn. That's probably a time puzzle that I need to solve. Can't use the knife when I'm there. There it is, I just lost him. Alright. A button to use a respawn eagle. Okay, so I probably have to use... I don't want to do that now. Let's press B to accept my fate. And start from the beginning, probably, right? Yeah. I wonder if this gives me unlimited lives or not. Sorry, I got a second here. I'll catch up on chat. What is this game's deep lore? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably got some RPG elements to it. I'm getting a lot of RPG elements to this game now. Just so everyone knows what happened to the Legends of the Bird King for PS4. One guy who works for Limited Run Games paid Sony money for a physical release. It's part 1 of 2. Sony requires physical game releases also be digitally. Oh, okay, also be available digitally. Reveal event canceled, game canceled. The guy who makes the game receives physical copies in the mail. Ah, nice. I wonder, so, can you... I'm wondering if... Should we try to see if we can get the physical game? I don't know, for a penny, this is... I'm already getting my money's worth out of it. Was this just one person that made this game? I mean, it could have been, but... The artwork, the programming, I mean, everything on here is very tastefully done, I will say. Needless to say, no drinkies tonight. Oh yeah, so it's pretty good, thanks. Can't have a late one tonight, though, which is a shame, as last week was lots of fun. Have to go to work at 6 a.m. Oh yeah, doing the early shift. Yeah, he probably ordered the physical... if I had to guess 8-bit, he probably ordered the physical games, or they came in after the game was canceled. So he probably had a limited run to sell off. If I had to guess. It's a very sketchy thing that nobody understands. Hey, good evening, Alec, and is anyone else in the chat that I haven't said hi to yet? Looks like we're good. Alright. This kind of reminds me, too, there was a game called The Curse of Isios, which was free, I believe. It's kind of like a... Oh, what kind of clone would I call it? A clone of games like... Golden Axe would be a good example. Or Altered Beast, kind of. Yeah. Alright, this guy. See? I'm getting wiser. So listen to the music. Okay. So I can't... That's interesting. I can't kill this one. I just got to avoid him. Perfect. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm assuming those spikes mean instant death, right? Oh, okay, I have like a second react to these. Can't do anything to kill them. Just gotta avoid them. I wonder if I tried really hard. Nope. Oh, it got me. B to accept my fate. So here's where the challenge comes in. Have I played NES Remix? I have not. Heard about the game. Think it's one of the games I collect for the Wii U, but I've not played that yet. If I do play that, maybe I'll do that on stream. How much does this game cost? It is a download-only title, yes, and it only cost 1 cent when I bought it. So that's why I bought it, and yes, definitely... Yeah, not that you even own a Switch, yeah. Yep, 1 cent, so that's, so far definitely worth it. I can see myself grinding on this game when I have some time to actually, get into it. But right now I'm just kind of demoing some of the cheapest games that I got and giving some initial impressions. This game was just... It's a shock how good it is, how well done the concept is. And the execution of it. I mean, it seems like this is a game out of time that they made back in the 80s and somebody remastered to give it 16:9 graphics. Not remade, remastered. And I would recommend it, especially for a penny. I would recommend it for like $1.99 too. It's got some quirky. Let's just go down. All right. So the goal is here: survive or get the coins. Let's just get out of there. That's an odd spot. I bet you the game programmer knew that was a weird spot people could jump to get. Let's see if I can... It's weird that you can grow another gun. It's a very odd spot. And precise platforming. That guy can grow through walls, throw through walls. Okay, these guys. Oh. Okay, if I get one more hit, I'm done for. Okay. Okay. The high stakes, I'm telling you, it's... Assuming that's something I have to unlock later. Ooh. Oh. I don't like where this is going. Okay. Level up. Ooh. So I can't... Really wish there was a way I could avoid those. Oh, how am I still alive? Oh! Made it to a boss. Okay. Hang on. Is there a pause? If that goes, I'm gonna be out of there. 1 cent, that's hilarious, yep. So I said cheapest games on the Switch, can't get much cheaper than this. Hoping to do like a video where I showcase some of these because, I mean, a game can't be worth just a cent, right? Switch sales are awesome, yes. This is a game that I would not mind giving to a kid. I mean, my kid, and like that's what I said. I mean, they've played through all their other games. If they're getting bored of it, this would be a good game, I think, to give them because they're going to like the art style. The retroness will appeal to old gamers, but I think the difficulty, depending on the age of the kid, you're probably talking about, a 5-year-old probably wouldn't have much fun with this game. 10-year-old, depending on it, maybe would be about the youngest I would recommend the age group out of this, at least so far. Pretty good for a penny. That's what I said. Let's see. Tyler, people were, I will say, mad instead of myself. Oh, you were a little bit mad yourself. Included this game. Yeah. Oh yeah, selling a canceled PS4 game physically without paying Sony royalties is illegal. Well, that's the thing. I didn't even know any of that backstory till you just told me about that. So that's kind of strange that this whole thing came about. I didn't know that limited run games had much to do with this other than the fact that I'm sure whoever developed it published it through them. So that is kind of strange. I wonder what that's what I said. I wonder what the Switch deal is then. Dag nabbit. Hey, Adrian, how we doing? I get that some indie devs just want to get their game out there. Making their game for free, charging $4 would make sense. Would make you more inclined to pay than a penny because it gives it a bad look. Yeah. So I'll tell you this. Technically, I paid $0 for this game, and in fact, I didn't pay anything for any of these games except for the ones that were $2 because I bought it with my Nintendo points, and I think that was the deal. I think it was, hey, do you have like 200 Nintendo points? If this game's a penny, it only costs you one Nintendo point. So I think it's aimed for people that have some Nintendo points that can't really buy a full game with it. Usually, if I buy a digital game, it's not going to be that expensive anyway. But I've used the rest of my points to buy some digital games. In fact, every physical game that you buy for the Switch, you can get points for. Which there's a process for that. You'll have to Google it, but that's what I bought. I bought all these games with my leftover Nintendo points. I had like I want to say somewhere around in between 500 and 1,000 Nintendo points. So, or maybe it's 50. I can't remember. Since it's a penny, I had between $5 and $10 worth of Nintendo points. I'll say that. Upset that you can only buy the game from Oh yeah, limited run game. Oh, if you went to their booth at the expo, yeah, that would make me upset too. I really hate it because limited run games, I think, intentionally creates a collector's market for some of their games. I don't understand it. I mean, it's just insane. Oh, and it's going to start messing with people going for complete collections in the future because now you have a limiting factor. So don't get me started on that. There is some annoyance with that for sure. You hate the cold Nintendo point because oh yeah, the Nintendo point system because they only had it last a year, and now I have to make sure I redeem all my games within a year to make the most of them. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, whenever you redeem the points for your physical games, so just to let you know too, if I get to it, we'll see how long this lasts. These are the cheapest physical games I could find. One of these was $4, and this one was I think $8. So we may get to physical release games that were really cheap, and I think one of these, yeah, this one is a limited release game. It's a limited run. It says number 27, so if that's the 27th game they released for the Switch, there's that. If you guys can't see it, it's Lumines Remastered, which is from the PlayStation Vita, and Sushi Striker, which is not a limited run game. I think it was a mobile game that they just put out for the Switch, so there's those. Maybe I can redeem the points on the Switch too. Have I played Fast Mix? Oh, Fast RMX? Don't think so. Is that a racing game? Sounds like it. Yeah, very bad luck on limited run games to sell a game they never published and they know got canceled that shouldn't exist physically on the PS4. I'm conflicted on that too. I mean, I understand why they would want to do it, but why they were allowed to do it could be a different thing. All right, I'm gonna get back to the game, and I will come back to the comments here shortly. Oops, sorry, another one came up. I tried to get Metal Slug 3 for Vita, and it was gone in seconds. Yeah, and that's why I said there's some weirdness to that. Oh, I got all my health again. So, oh, jeez, oh, jeez, holy cow! I don't even have time to think. That's it. I'm dead. B to accept my fate, please. Okay, please respawn me back on the boss. Jeez, this is like. This is like a Mega Man level of platforming. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, how am I still alive? Wow. That difficulty ramped up in a heartbeat. Come on. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna be dead here in like 2 seconds. Yep. Whew. I wonder if I quit the game, if it'll drop me off right here. This is insane. And then I have to grow the gun, too. I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to beat this guy without grinding it for so long. I'm going to give it a couple more tries, and then we may have to move on to another game, because we're already about a half hour into the stream, and I've got other games I want to try out here. So, oops, yep. Oh. See, and it's whenever I try to grab my gun. Okay. Ah, I tried to avoid that. There it is. And I got him for like one shot. Oh, maybe I shouldn't bother with a turret. I'm gonna switch my strategy. Okay, now here's something that could be annoying. I could potentially... Yeah. Yep. I could potentially be pressing A to continue shooting. Oh my gosh. It's like... Yeah, it's like they know exactly where the kill zone's gonna be, so they have that cross section right there. No. Okay, the good thing is it's not letting me use my respawn eagle. That is just so quick. If it was slowed down just the slightest. Yeah, games are definitely made to be played. Let's see here. For physical games over digital games, yeah, same here. In this case, though, I'm a little less disappointed because you're never going to buy a physical game for a penny anymore, let's just be honest with that. So, yeah. So I do, that's why I said I do have some of the cheaper physical games too, because that is in the back of my mind. Like, I don't buy digital games that often. I'd like to see like a compilation of these games on a cartridge, maybe. When I see sketchy stuff like this, I don't want any part of it. Yeah, I don't know if I will intentionally buy... I will not go out of my way to buy a limited run game, let's just say that. Like, I did see that they released, the Jack and Daxter trilogy remaster for PlayStation 4. They never released that physically, but they did release all the ones remastered digitally, and Limited Run did a sale of those, and I mean, last I checked, each one of those is like $100 on eBay. It's just insane. The limited games that I've bought, I've opened. I bought them because I wanted to play them. Yeah, true. Like, I'm not, yeah, we're not going for the collector's market there. You guys have seen me do it before. The Atari 7800 games, I've bought some games because they were cheap, and they were complete in the box, never opened. I open them because I'm going to play them. My collection is functional. Alright, so I have to wait. Okay, let's see if I can get the jumping down. That, and just knock me off. I'm like... Ooh. Okay, still got all my hearts. Yeah, and it happened again. I'm learning. There's a strategy here I gotta get down. Not quite done with this yet. I really want to... What gets me is that you have to get your gun out, and he switched. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna take the hit and just restart. What's nice is unlimited tries. I could spend hours playing this game. See, they're trying to force you to get as close as you can, but when he falls in the middle like that, there it is again. The 3 hearts is a real limitation. Like I said, this is something if I grinded for a while, I could probably do it, but that's not what this stream's for. So, unfortunately, let's see what happens here. B to accept my fate. Do I have to... I've got exit to map. I have lots. Don't know what that is. I can't remember what the octopus and the eagle does. Oh, I remember what the eagle does, but I don't remember what the octopus does. So if I press that to exit the game, and I click to continue, where does this take me? All the way back to the beginning. So yeah, this is a whoops. Maybe that's not even the place I need to go. Let's look somewhere else first. For a penny, like I said, I've already gotten some of my enjoyment out of it. Maybe, I was going to say, maybe I'm attempting to do that area too early. Like, it's probably really insanely difficult, but possible. But maybe I need to upgrade, like, be able to upgrade my weapons and my gun. Like I said, a little bit of Mega Man in there. So I'll have to play through more of this and come back. If there's a strategy guide for this game, I may have to look at it, peruse that before I continue on with it. I'm so far, like I said, very impressed. What happened here? The art style is good. That enemy up there looks a lot like what I would see in Legend of Zelda. Oh. There it is. Ha! He falls down the pit and still won't die. Get out of here. I just want to get out of here. There it is. Takes me all the way back to the beginning. So that's interesting, these bottomless pits here. Are not really bottomless for the enemies. Okay, and I leveled up there. So I'm thinking that's just an area of the game that I went to too early. There we go. And I probably need an upgraded weapon to be able to kill that guy. That is something that would get me all the time in something like The Legend of Zelda. Zelda 2 is what I'm really thinking when I say that. And this kind of battlefield reminds me a lot of Zelda 2. See? And here we go. Shop to drop. Yeah, and you can buy, like, I'm sure there's upgrade to your weapons too, so yeah, interesting game. Some has the Zelda 2 note. It's called Revenge of the Bird King, and it was a penny on the Nintendo Switch eShop, so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. So it looks like I missed some comments here. I'm going to check these out, and then we're going to switch on to another one. Limited run games could forget the disc cart in the case nobody would ever complain. Have a question for people. Considering the wide availability of the first Halo 2 games and the quick pack, should I keep my copy of Halo Triple Pack sealed since it is worth around $100? Oh my. Yeah, that's tough. Since there's other ways to play that game and they're so cheap, if it's really worth it to you to buy another copy of it so you can keep that sealed, that's up to you. I mean, honestly, there are going to be games out there that don't get sealed, but I'm not going to go out of my way personally to do it. It's nothing I would do. Like I said, these games right now are still sealed because I just haven't played them yet. I still plan to, but you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to keep them sealed. But let's say tomorrow both of these games are a penny on the eShop. If I download them, these will probably stay sealed until I need to actually physically open them to play them. So, or I'll give them to somebody else, be like, hey, you know what, I have this on the eShop, you want this? And I may even give it away. So, I'm not collecting for value, I'm collecting for playing the games. I really want to play these games, so. Have I played Gunman Clive? I have not. You have a lot of games on here that you are suggesting to me, and it's I'm intrigued. That was crazy unfair. The guy just warps around. LOL. Yeah, that's why I said I think I just hit that. Oh, by the way, welcome T-Tech Trad. Sorry. But yes, I agree. I think it's just way too. I think I encountered that boss way too early. The rest of the levels seem fine, but man, yeah, I need more hearts, or I need an upgrade to my weapon or something like that. Or maybe I just need to stop complaining and just take it. Hey, Lucian, also welcome to the stream. So the phaser does work with the power-based converter. Also, hello. Oh, yeah. I said hi as well. So that is interesting. I did not try that. I actually got my... I got out my light phaser right after we were done talking, and I set it up, but I was tired and I went to bed. And by the time I came back to it, I was like, what is the light phaser doing out? And I put it away, so I'm glad you said something. That is interesting. I may do... yeah. I gotta think about, you know... I may have already answered this, Julius, by the way, welcome. This is Revenge of the Bird King for the Nintendo Switch. It was a penny on the eShop. Don't know if it still is, but, oh yeah, yep. 8-Bit's got my back there. Thank you. Chex Quest HD, free from Steam. I did not. Is that still free, or do I have to go out for that? Collect to play as well, yeah. And that's fine. I mean, whatever you really want to. I mean, as I've been telling people all this time, I'm never going to be critical of what somebody else does with their game collection, because it's their collection. I mean, I can't tell you what to do and what's right and what's wrong. You got to feel it out for yourself. If you're going into it for the value, definitely keep that thing wrapped. Do not peel that off. But if you're like, you know what, I just want to play the game, don't really care if it's worth $100 or whatever, or you could think about it this way. You can sell the limited one for $100. Go ahead and do that. Buy a really cheap version of it and then play it. So I mean, I've kind of gone both ways with it. If I find something that's worth a lot, and I really don't feel like, you know, not desecrating it, but it's worth it to me to sell it so that I can get more games or I can do something else with it, I'll do that. I did a lot with that with the Sega CD games. I bought them to play them, but as soon as I was done with them, I had to sell them because I couldn't afford to keep playing and keep buying more of the games. So, unfortunately, like games like Snatcher, I think it was with Snatcher I did that, and I can't remember the other one. Was it KO Flying Squadron? It was. I think it was one of those two that I had actually purchased, but somebody was very kind and let me borrow the games. They didn't send the cases; they just sent the discs. And I specifically said, if you're going to send it, put the discs in like a bubble mailer and seal it and stuff like that. We went through the whole thing about it, so. Last thing you're going to say about limited run games is I used to defend them. I mean, if they want to publish games made by SNK, Insomniac, and others, going to be treating them like a major publisher like EA, Ubisoft. Yeah, okay, yep, still free on Steam. I will check into that, thank you. Have I played Bioshock? Yes. It's been a while. I haven't played any of the remasters, so last time I played it was on the PS3. But yep, I have definitely played that game. Alright, so it looks like... Can I exit the level? I can. I'm very curious, so I'm sure there's a strategy... I'm not going to play this again. So that was Revenge of the Bird King. Definitely recommend it, especially if it's penny. I mean, I would pay I gotta think here, for digital title, digital only title, as we're saying, because the physical games obviously have not been released. If you can find it for under... I mean, that's the thing. My judgment on this game is only a preliminary judgment. I have not played through this entire game, so... Talking about Sega CD games, I think I told you last week, I'm ashamed of most of the games I played on the Sega CD were burned copies. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Mackenzie. Yep, we kind of talked about that a little bit, but to bring up the burned copies again, we did mention it is incredibly easy. All you have to do once you have a copy of a game for the Sega CD is you can literally put it into any CD-ROM burner and just burn the game. There's no copy protection. This was early 90s. It wasn't really a big issue when the Sega CD was out. But there's a gray area here. Definitely, if you want to make a backup copy of your game, I believe that's still legal. But yeah, when I do a review of a game on a video, I definitely do only the games that I own. I don't do games that I guess I don't want to say, I haven't pirated any of the games that I'm showing, and that's because, you know, that's my personal preference. There are some people that would say, hey, those games are incredibly rare to begin with. They're not making them for other platforms. Some of those companies went out of business. You know, the fact is, somebody still owns the intellectual property that is that game. So, I mean, basically, you got to find a way to do it. Am I going to lose sleep over someone else who burns a copy of that game because it's so rare? I wouldn't. I mean, again, it doesn't affect me, so that's my personal thing. If I was the person in charge of that, I might be slighted, but I kind of get it. So it kind of brings up the debate: is emulation piracy or is it not piracy, kind of thing. And yeah, we can go back and forth on that. Of course, my personal opinion is that if I own the game and I own the console, I should be able to emulate it. I mean, it's I already have all the hardware. The only reason why I emulate to begin with is to make it easier for live streaming at the moment. But yeah, I really like owning the original physical media and playing on the original hardware as often as I can. Yeah, I personally don't have a problem with people playing burn games as long as people don't sell them. Yeah, I do agree with that. That would be something that would affect me, so I think that. But anyway, if you guys haven't heard, this is the emulation as piracy, but I support it. See, that's, like I said, that's the whole thing. If you already own the hardware and the game, but you want to, let's say, try to upscale the graphics on your own, or play with a different controller, is that technically piracy? You can go down that whole thing. It's already been debated to death, in my opinion. But anyway, this is the theme that I thought was so good that hooked me into the game. I hope you guys enjoyed the Revenge of the Bird King. We are going to move on to the next title, though. Again, this was the cheapest game I got. 1 penny on the eShop. And I'm going to close that. Alright, the next one I'm going to try is Kid Trip. And not all of these, by the way, are a retro theme, but I'm just going in order of when I was purchasing them. Revenge of the Bird King was the only one I played out of the bunch. I bought these two, and you can tell I've played some things since then. So this was the last game I purchased out of the huge bulk. And then I went back and I got, because I had a few points left, so I got VSR Racing, and I got Kid Trip. Let's go ahead and try Kid Trip out. And this is my first time seeing the rest of these games. I know nothing about these games. I don't know who put them out. I don't know anything else there. Yep, 8-bit agrees with Mackenzie. Personally, like to play original games and original hardware whenever possible. I think I think if you guys are watching me and you've seen my videos, you know where I'm at with that as well. I mean, part of the thing for me is showing a video about a game and actually how I would play a game is two entirely different processes. Like right now, I'm not really fully paying attention to what I'm doing here. So this is interesting. The graphics are a bit oversized, and this is my thought. I think my theory is most of these were made for cell phones, and they ported them to the Switch. If anyone knows anything about this game, I know nothing about it. I did no research on this. Let me know and see if this was actually, if my theory is correct. Alright, let's do this. Miles run automatically. That is a telltale sign of a mobile game. Just there's a lot of them like that. Okay. hold back to walk. Okay. I'm assuming one of these buttons makes me jump. Release that. Release back to move at the normal movement speed. Okay, and tap A to jump. Or alternate controls is up, Y, Z, R. I'll just do A. That makes sense. Hold A to jump higher. Tap A to jump. Jump onto baddies and springs to bounce off of them. I don't really know if I needed this. Whoops. Oh, I already died. Yeah. Hold A when bouncing to bounce higher. I mean, all this stuff makes sense. Tap B to throw stones. Those live in grass houses. Okay, so I have a projectile. Nice work. You can configure controls in the menu any times. Yep, simple controls. I earned a trophy for completing the tutorial. Kid Trip. The demo was fun for me, at least. Yep. Sorry, I do not remember exactly how much this game was, but all I'm going to tell you is every single game from this point on, unless I say otherwise, was under 50 cents at the time when I purchased it. So again, can't say anything else other than that. Let's just go through the regular new game. World 1-1. Very retro feel to this game. Okay. See, I have the ability to jump on things, but I gotta be honest. See, like, I'm gonna use projectiles. Ooh, I actually have limited lives. So, yep, I'm just gonna play in the style I'm most comfortable with. And I saw in the demo, in the video, there's a way to jump on the fish. Oh. Okay. It's the second time. I keep... See, they got me focusing on a different area of the game, so I don't see that bird coming until it's too late. And then right now it's like a memorization trick. Can I remember all of the obstacles that I'm going to hit? And I keep missing that. So I'm going to ignore the balloon if I can and just hit the... jump and hit the bird. Oh, yeah, I can... slow it down. Okay, there I completely missed the spring. Okay, somehow I skipped on the water. And I don't know if that's something I can always do, or if I just get one, if I get one freebie on the water and then I'm done for. Easy to control, difficult to master is definitely a thing with this game. And again, this is kind of a grindy type game, not usually what I would do. If I don't make progress in a game within the first, like, 5 minutes or so, it usually loses my interest. Ah. There's just no way I can hit that bird. Easier. Whoops. Wow. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So yeah, this looks like a game that was designed to be on like a cell phone screen. Because everything's a bit oversized. I almost... See, I got distracted because I almost made it on the top of that thing and I've never even been able to do that. I need to not worry about it and just try to beat the level. But I want to know how to get up there. See, and right there I skipped over the spring. I'm gonna run out of lives before I get through this level, just to let you know. Oh, okay. And that's it. So yeah. What happens when I run out of lives? Do I have to start over at the very beginning? Alright, I'm going to pause and catch up on comments here. The only game I played in the Sega CD I didn't mind was Smoke and Mirrors by Penn and Teller. That game wasn't even released. Was it? Yeah, because that was the one with the bus driver game. I don't think it was ever released. You use OG hardware, but big companies are bad at preservation and do not release all of their games. That is true. I do agree with that. Okay, so we're back on Kid Trip. Was the demo was fun for you at least? It's interesting. I probably would enjoy playing this more on my phone. You know, something to grind through while I'm waiting for, like, at a doctor's office or something, or just have 5 minutes to kill. The funny thing is, the one time you played an emulated game that you didn't buy was LSD Dream Emulator on PS1. I don't know what that is. Oh, LSD Dream Simulator. Is that the LSD Dream Emulator? No. Don't know what that is. Sorry. You keep recommending things, and sorry, it's just going over my head. Definitely agree on the original games. Original hardware is just hard when you live in an area with not too many game stores or flea markets. Yeah, I've been very fortunate to, like I said, I'm smack dab between two metropolitan areas that each have their own retro game collecting scene, so it's been good for me. But yeah, definitely. And eBay is insane. Yeah, people on eBay think things are, yes. I think I've, and the sad thing is I always have to recommend people to eBay. I'm like, hey, if the game is really worth it to you and you really need it, eBay is your place. But if you don't care what condition it's in, or somebody recommended me, and I think it was someone on here last time recommended to me, Lucky Games, and I checked out that website. Their pricing is eBay equivalent at best. There are some where it's even higher. So I can't in all good conscience recommend them. But what's nice about their website is that they do tell you, are you getting the game only? Are you getting the game and manual? So that's even better than GameStop. But GameStop is sometimes, not always, sometimes priced cheaper, but they won't let you know. What are you going to get? Just the game only? Are you going to get, I mean, is the case going to be the same? You know? Yeah. It's really hard to collect online. I agree. Just curious, what is my most favorite game? Oh, sorry, I skipped a few comments there. Hang on. I'll get back to that one. The one you played had a dog in it. It was Kid Trip spinoff, you think? Okay. The rocks are unlimited. Stylized like Sonic a little bit. Yeah, and he's just kind of running through there. Kid Trip, Sonic. I can see that. So my favorite NES game, Super Mario Brothers 3. It's just if anyone even mentions the word video game to me, that's what pops into my head. That is a video game. Really love that game. And something I still play at least once a year. Love that game. I think I own more than one copy of it. And oh, by the way, when I say Super Mario Bros. 3, I'm referring to the NES version, not the remake on Super Mario All Stars. That game, I like that game, but man, I still go back and play the original on NES, and for some reason I like it better. I can't tell you why. It's just, I know the graphics are better, the soundtrack is quote unquote better, at least it's done with samples. There's something I just love about the original NES feel of that game. Savage found a Magnavox Odyssey 2 on Craigslist for $25 without hookups or a controller with a game. Good deal. Yeah, I mean, considering the condition you got it in, I would say that's a good deal. I got mine with two controllers. Aren't the controllers soldered in? I think they are on that console. I don't think you can disconnect them unless there's more than one variant I'm not aware of. I got mine at a retro game store, and it didn't come with the RF controller box, so it was untested. And I modded it. In my video that I did on the Magnavox Odyssey 2, you can just basically take any AV cable, put an RF connector on the end of it, and you can use that instead. And it works great, and it came with a bunch of games, so I got that for, I think it was 40 or 50 bucks, somewhere in there. So $25 with a game, and it came without hookups. I'm assuming that means without the RF box. Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. You can find a lot of those games for pretty cheap online, so definitely shouldn't have any trouble collecting more than that if you want. You have a nice retro game store near you that has very reasonable prices and arcade machines. that you can play. That is awesome. Sadly, I don't live next to any stores that have the arcade machines. There's one that I featured in my trip up north. I'm actually pointing. That's north. This is the north wall, I guess, of my house. Um, and they do have an arcade. I will be back there when they open back up because I'm thinking eventually, like maybe around the time of my birthday, I'll go back up there because I didn't get a chance to play any of the arcade games when I was there. I was in a hurry collecting games, trying to get back home, and I didn't leave enough. See, I'm talking for too long. The Switch is getting impatient. So I'm going to read a few more comments here. And looking at this game you're playing has me wondering why Ness is from Mother is from Green Hills. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Definitely fits that. I'm gonna run out of lives here. Okay. I gotta get used to that A and B being switched. A is jump, not... Yeah, that... So there's a... Oh, thought I had it. There's a friend of mine. There it is, game over. Do I have unlimited continues? Oh, it cost me all my coins? Now I try to get 10 lives. And the more coins I collect, the more lives I get. Okay. Oh! Oh, I just barely missed the balloon. Come on. Come on, people. So yeah, this game is for 50 cents again or less. Can't remember how much. I think it was. It had to be a lot less. The aesthetic of I gotta jump over that pretty much. Sorry. The aesthetic's okay. I don't like playing it on the TV screen because of the oversized graphics. And I have the feeling that you will see things coming better on a smaller screen because you'll be able to focus on more of the screen than what I'm actually just focusing on. Gotcha. Oh. See, I'm getting used to it now. So, I would recommend this as a mobile game on a phone, but on a console, not really sure what the appeal is going to be. See, I gotta time that better. I think I gotta wait for him to come through. And it was a horrible jump. Okay, wait for him to keep going. Eventually he'll just come right off. Okay, frustrating. There are some frustrating moments in this game. If you like endless runners, definitely one. Oops, definitely one I'd recommend. Sorry, I had to stretch my leg here. It's starting to cramp up. I'm definitely a lot more comfortable. Oh, up here. Oh, I am down in my basement. I have that office chair that is broken, but it's also hard on my back when I sit in it for a while. Strangely, my office chair in my actual office at work is much more comfy. But that's one I also bought as well. It's actually, it's a CERTA, certified office chair. And I got it specifically because I do have some back problems, obviously being a bigger guy. And tall as well, being 6 feet. Not insanely tall, but there we go. Not everything's meant for someone who's 6 feet tall. Yeah. So I got a little confused. Like, it instantly confused me because there's the crab that I can't jump on. Oh my gosh. Precise platforming with the time. I don't like that. Holy cow. Very fun to watch me play this and you don't know why. Yep, throw your rocket at his head. Was there an Odyssey game with a voice synthesizer? I think everything had a voice synthesizer, there we go, for a while. I haven't even been drinking anything. Stupid monkey, lol. Whoa, the rocks arc, that's a new element. Yep. Looking at this game you're playing has me asking, okay, yep, we're back to the comments I had before. So yeah, it's just... I don't like how I lose all my coins doing that. This seems like something that I would... Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like Mario and I can just run over those, but nope. I've still got to jump. Precise platforming is not something that'll keep me coming back to a game. Ooh. Oh my gosh. That is insanity. I don't know how I survived that, but I did. Oops, hang on. Pausing again. You threw your rock into his rock? Yeah. I think he's throwing coconuts, though. There was a model with a voice module built in, as well as a separate add-on. So, was that the video pack that had the voice module built in, Savage? I'm sorry, 8-bit. Very few games support it, though. So the Philips video pack is what the Magnavox Odyssey was called in Europe, and I guess other parts of the world, too. And if I'm thinking of the right console, tell me if I'm wrong. But they had some different features. Sweet, good job, thanks. I guess Nintendo is going to be releasing Paper Mario: The Origami King to compete against Bug Fables by a group of indie devs who love the Thousand Year Door. See, I was curious about what, because everyone was like, "Oh, Nintendo." Oops, Nintendo did a. They said that they were shadow dropping the game, and I said, "Well, I said Nintendo does everything for a reason, so we may not always know what the reason is or agree with the reasons, but they do have a reason for what they do." And I was wondering if they were forced. I thought it had to be... See, there I just fall in the water and survive. Okay, so that is an achievement I just unlocked. I was wondering if they had something to... Oh, that was terrible. I wonder if they had a reasoning for why they were going to... Come on. I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to concentrate and do this at the same time. Talk and concentrate at the same time is not really one of my fortes. And so I thought to myself, hey, I'll stream some video games. Alright, here we go. Don't know how I survived that, but I did. And that I don't survive. Oh, we got a game over again. Hang on. We'll probably do this a couple more times, then I gotta go again, because we are another half hour into this. Wow, that is going quick. Sweet, good job. Yeah, the video pack, G7000 in Europe. Okay, that's what I thought. I think there was a shrimp in that. Oh yeah, the Thousand Year Door comment. Yeah, I was wondering, Nintendo has a plan for all this stuff. I think that they developed some games and they're just waiting for the perfect time to release them. I think they're done with some of these other games that we don't even know about yet, and they're just waiting for the time to release it, and they're just saying, oh, marketing says this is when we're going to maximize sales. I think they did that with Super Mario Odyssey. I really think they started building that for the Wii U, and when the Wii U wasn't a big sale, they were like, you know what, let's push that off to the next console, because we want people to play this game. Which is funny. Here's another, yeah, the Thousand Year Door was awesome. Tearaway, yep. I just got that recently for the PlayStation Vita on physical. So, yeah, looking forward to playing that game again. I haven't played that game in a while. A lot of the games I had for the Vita, and the reason why my Vita collection was so small... I can play while I'm doing this, I think. The reason why my Vita collection was so small physically was because Sony was, I guess, really just... couldn't even do it. they were really giving away a whole bunch of games on the PlayStation to PlayStation Plus subscribers. And since I was one of those people... Oh, I almost had it. Oh, okay, so you can just keep hammering on that button and it'll keep jumping. So that's where all my games were, and I read an article, there's a rumor going around that Sony is about ready to shut all that down, so I'm starting to buy those games physically for the first time. And it's kind of strange because on the Vita, I didn't mind digital titles. And that's mainly because it was a portable console, and I couldn't lug around a whole bunch of those physical game releases. Oh, I hit him with a rock, and there's the exit. So I didn't mind digital games on there, except for the fact that the PlayStation Vita memory card was so small, the default one that I got with it, and then I had to, oh darn it, and then I had to go buy the larger memory card for it. But anyway, now that the digital games may be going away for good, I decided to go ahead and start buying them physically so I can keep playing some of those games. I really enjoy playing the Vita. I don't feature it on the channel at all, but that is probably one of the consoles I play not most often. I think the Switch has started to take away some of that. And I'm still looking to get my... What? I gotta watch the replay of that. Sorry, I died. Looked like I jumped on top of it and it still knocked me out. Yes, I can play a game very, very poorly for a long period of time and still blame the game developer for poor programming. Yeah, so in a way, I guess that's why I don't mind buying, games digitally for the Switch, but I did buy games digitally for the Wii U, I'm sorry, for the original Wii as well. And that's because a lot of them were games that was before I was doing this whole physical games collection. Man, I just keep barely missing that. So you can tell how this game is addicting. So for less than 50 cents, what's the verdict on this? Does it look good enough for someone to actually pay for, or is this a game you expect to be free? To me, I don't... if a game doesn't have any ads, I think I'd be okay with spending 50 cents to remove any ads in a game like this. Oh, come on. I thought it was on there. Especially because, I guess I shouldn't stereotype, but there's a lot of... Oh, come on. There are a lot of free games that will have inappropriate ads, so especially if you have kids playing these games, I'd rather have them play a game that does not have ads, because they're not just going to the cheapest bidder, or whoever's willing to pay more for them, and sometimes you get political ads, or dating websites and things like that where they show inappropriate content, so... And I think that's why I'm not aware of any Switch games where they flat out are funded by ad revenue, except for games like your Fortnite and Apex Legends and Smite, which, by the way, those are free games. I didn't include them in the cheapest for the cheapest criteria, because you still have to pay for it to be on this stream, and probably a video if I end up... Oh, come on! Thought I had that. You actually have to pay something for the game. I'm not including free games on here. But if you're looking for free games, I'd recommend Tetris 99 for sure. I found that game almost by happenstance. So in a way, I'm also excluding all of the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games that they put out for Nintendo Switch Online. But you could still say, I guess you could technically say that you're still paying for them because you have to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online to actually get access to those games. Which, to say the truth, other than being able to play my games online, that's where I think most of my value comes in. I don't know if I'm going to get through this level before we're done with it. My biggest problem with the Vita memory cards is they're proprietary. Yep. Why couldn't they just use SD cards? I guarantee you, see, you say piracy was an issue, possibly. That's probably one of the excuses they threw out, Mackenzie, but here's my theory. Two things. Number one, data through rate, the throughput rate. So the PlayStation Vita memory cards were probably designed with Sony specifications to hit a certain load speed, and I don't know if you could write to those. I think you could, but it's only if the game supported it for like saves. So, but it had to have a certain load speed. And the problem with SD cards is you can get an SD card that has a really slow load speed, but you can also get one that has a really high load speed. So they probably did that to standardize that so all games loaded at the same speed, and they were all at the higher speed that Sony wanted it to load at. That was probably their excuse. But the second reason was they can make more money that way. I mean, that's the guiding feature on everything. And here's the problem, and here's the reason why I believe they did it that way. I don't think they cared about piracy at all in terms of that. I mean, I'm sure that was a concern, but piracy wasn't the main reason. It's because they can make more money doing it. They're doing the same thing with the PlayStation 5. With the SSD, they're creating this proprietary SSD that loads faster. You can still use third-party SSDs, but it's not going to run as well as the one that's built in. So I'm curious to see... Oh, darn it, I didn't hold it long enough. I'm curious to see what Sony allows with the third-party drives. I mean, really, the whole thing is... Like, my curiosity is... Oh, darn it. The reason why my curiosity is piqued is I wonder if they're going to make you load every game that you want to play on your system onto your internal PS3 drive. You can still store them so you don't have to re-download them, but I'm wondering if Sony's going to make you load each game off of the hard drive that's built in so that you get those faster load speeds. Because they're putting in a lot. Oh, almost had it. They are putting in a lot of things saying, nope, no load times. And the first time someone has a load screen on there that's like longer than 5 seconds or whatever, Sony's going to be like, oh, well, they're not using the internal drive, so we got to force everyone to use this proprietary internal drive that we spent tons and tons of money. See, there we go. I just had to have at least 400 attempts. Sorry, I can go on a rant. The aesthetic of this game reminds me of something like Super Adventure Island, but the character reminds me of Ness, or Nestor, from Mother, just like you said, Mackenzie, and the gameplay style also kind of reminds me of that. Like the projectiles that you throw reminds me of Adventure Island. So it's almost like an auto-scrolling Adventure Island where timing is the key factor there. Kind of an interesting game concept, but again, this was definitely priced about right. If you paid more than $1 for this game, I would have felt disappointed. The jumping in the game looks very stiff. It can be, but it feels, once you know exactly, like if you could see when I was pressing the button, most likely you probably have to experience it for yourself, but it feels natural. It doesn't feel like the jumping is overly stiff when you're actually pressing the button. So yeah, I could see where you think that. PSP hacking is a big thing. Yeah, and that thing also used proprietary memory cards. The Memory Stick Pro Duo. 8-bit SNK. Sadly, you have to go. I have to get up in less than 4 hours. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by for as long as you did. You didn't have to stop by, and you did. So I appreciate you taking time out of the day, 8-bit. Thanks a lot. Your current Sega CD series has been excellent. Oh, I appreciate that. So definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much for stopping by, 8-bit. Does anyone know if NFS Most Wanted on Vita is any good? I don't, but I did just order it, so I'll have to let you know, Savage. Next time I'm on stream, ask me, because I will probably have played it by then. Yep, CSNG. You have hacked your PSP and your Vita. No idea about Need for Speed. I have not hacked it yet, but I don't know. I don't have a high desire to hack my PSP because I can emulate a PSP pretty well. There's an emulator out there for that, so if I want to capture footage for it, I'm gonna be playing it on here. Hey, cheers, man. Thanks again for joining us. Sony made their own proprietary memory cards to make more money. Tell me it ain't so. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? Imagine if PS5 could play PS3 discs. Yeah, Savage, I have seen that so many times. Like, people are like, I mean, I don't know where the expectation is coming from, other than it's a generation that does not remember when the PS3 launched. I mean, there has to be a disconnect here, because if I remember watching all of the technical videos of how the PS3 was designed differently than every other console, it's basically the processor. It's not a Power PC processor, but some people claim that it's based on that. It's called cell processor architecture. I don't know the difference. I'm not a technical thing on that. But all I can tell you is it is so foreign to how every other processor is designed that it is incredibly difficult to emulate and get it right. So you can probably emulate a cell processor using like one of the Intel processors that we have on there. Um, you could probably emulate that pretty well, but then getting the game to run is going to be, I mean, it's a bear. It's cheaper and easier and will offer better compatibility just to have a server farm somewhere, and stop me if you know where I'm going with this, where you have a server farm that has a whole bunch of these cell processor architecture consoles just running off in the distance, and then you virtualize it and let people play from your server on your game console. And that's the concept behind PlayStation Now. I haven't seen Sony give the numbers. I'm going to play this for a little bit while longer, but we'll switch to another game here in a little bit. Just because we'll give you a preview about, oh my gosh, how this game is supposed to look. Yeah. I like how there are so many times I could have died there. That was 13 seconds of gameplay, and I was tense that entire time. Oh. See, and I said I doubt I get that far again. So my expectation is they will not have PS3 backwards compatibility this generation, nor will they ever have it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Not unless they put a physical chip inside of the console that is basically a PlayStation 3 on a single chip. And again, because of how badly they got burned on the string. I cannot go through that string. Because of how badly that they feel like they got burned on the PS3 emulation, the PS3 backwards compatibility, I doubt we see it. I really do. So let's just say this. If Sony is watching, listening, or if anyone is trying to tag this in on their feed, just let them know it will be a pleasant surprise. Oh my gosh. How do I get over that? I will say it will be a completely unexpected surprise and a welcome one if they were to include it on the PlayStation 5. No idea how they're going to accomplish it, but I would love to see... I'd like to see full-fledged... So it has to be something about I have to wait for that spider to go all the way down and then do that again. See, now I'm curious how I do that. I'm going to give it a couple more tries and then we'll have to move on to another game. I know I've said that a couple times by now, but one of these times I'm going to mean it. So yes, don't hold your breath for PS3 backwards compatibility. I don't think it's going to happen. Well, that was a jump button I didn't click in time. There's like a disconnect now between when I'm pressing my launch rocks button and the jump button. Well-designed, tight gameplay, but I don't know if this is something... Oh! Made it! There we go. So it wasn't, I just had to jump at the right time. I thought last time I got blocked by that little thing. Alright. I think I already said goodnight to 8-bit, but if I haven't, sorry. Goodnight again. I'm worried about PS5 games when it comes to physical games. We're seeing PS4 games that already require 2 discs. Blu-ray is becoming outdated format, unfortunately. Kind of, but one thing I think is going to help is that the PS4 does not use the 4K Blu-ray standard. It's still using the same Blu-ray standard that was out when the PlayStation 3 launched. So I think its 4K Blu-ray discs can hold somewhere between 100 and 125 gigs on a disc. And right now, the average PlayStation 4 disc can only hold about 50 gigs. So yes, I think they haven't said yet. They haven't officially said whether or not they're going to. But because of the big stink, yeah, because of the big because of the big stink they made about physical games when the PlayStation 4 came out, I don't see them. I'm pretty sure they're still going to have something physically to insert into your PlayStation. But I will note that right now, the only thing game discs are good for is for loading the game onto your hard drive. Because yes, they aren't going to. Oh, that's a tough jump. I gotta time that better. Well, I can either destroy the enemy or clear that gap. I can't do both. So because that's all discs are used for these days, oh, I could have made that jump. So maybe my hesitation is hurting me. Let's just go full throttle, full mustard. See, the hesitation was the bad part of that. Oh, come on! I hit the ceiling there. I don't know why I'm trying to jump over this first enemy. Snake-like enemy. Yeah, I think I'm about done with this game for now. This is a game that I could play for a little while. Like I said, if I'm just waiting waiting at the bus stop, on the subway, on the train, at a doctor's office, all these random generic situations I keep coming up with, but I can't play it for a long period of time. I'm already starting to get dizzy. Not dizzy, but just a headache from seeing the screen scroll from so many times. So I am going to stop this game here, and then we're going to move on to another game. I just want to see it lose all my lives first. Alright, there we go. So, not bad for 50 cents, but not the value of the first game, if that makes sense. So the first game we played was the Revenge of the Bird King. I almost said of the Bird Man. And, yeah, not too shabby. Talked about a lot of different topics tonight. I want to make sure I'm still out there. Oops. Alright. Let's move on to the next game. So this was Kid Trip. Overall, my final thoughts on this are the Sonic reference now hits me a little bit more with this. Like I said, kind of a mobile game. Again, not really the best value. It's a very simplistic game. And it is something I would expect to see for about 50 cents. So, not too bad. Alright, so we've gotten through 2 games in an hour and a half. We might speed this up a little bit more. So this next one is Void Space Racing, as you can see here. And this one looked kind of intriguing to me. It looks like... yeah, we got tilt left, tilt right, steering, and brakes. So I'm using the Pro controller. I'm sure that'll be fine. Again, I'm not sure how many of these had a physical release. I did great, thanks. I made it through World 1. I didn't expect I was going to do that. First time I ever played it, so you never know. Let's see here. I've heard rumors and stuff. There has been discs that have been tested to replace Blu-rays, but have never gotten past the testings because so many of them break. Because of how fast the discs load, yeah. So that's why I said I don't think they see the game ever needing to load from disk. I heard this one wasn't great. We're about to find out. I will say you can view these by popularity, and this was not one of the more popular ones, but it was a cheap one. This game may have been one of the few that I actually paid more than $1 for. I can actually look that up here real quick while I'm talking about this. But I was going to say, yeah, I think they can hold a lot of data, but they won't be right. I don't think they'll be able to load it fast, so it's just going to be, instead of downloading it, here's the disk, and the disk will just dump to the hard drive. And of course, with compression, I have no idea what they can do to fit everything onto that disk. Like, because 4K Blu-ray discs don't need to load very fast, they just need to load just enough data to keep the movie playing smoothly. And I think it's crazy that PS4 Pro could not play 4K Blu-rays. You have no idea how mad that made me. I bought a 4K television specifically for my upgrade to the PlayStation 4 Pro. I was not that upset. I wasn't really too upset when I found out that the PS4 Pro was not going to be able to do 4K. Most likely it's doing 1080p. What made me upset was some of these games are actually still at 960p and they're being upscaled. That was a little irritating because it doesn't upscale correctly. But the other thing was that it couldn't play 4K Blu-rays. I'm like, why? Oh, why? Sony, you came up with a standard and then dropped support for it at the very beginning. Alright. Rant over on that. Well, maybe not over, but done for now. What was I looking at? Oh, yeah. Switch shop. So I can look up prices for these right now, and if they were the same as when I bought them. The problem is it's not going to show me the price on these if I look them up on my Switch, so I'm going to go to the actual eShop on Nintendo.com. VSR. Here it is, Void Space Racing. Oh, Axiom Verge 2 popped up on there too, which looks interesting. And it is loading. 39 cents. So, nope, this game was not $1. It's originally $4.99 retail. This game was 39 cents. So, you have another one that's under 50 cents. Savage Duck, you agree with that? Yeah. It's, one thing that would be crazy, and here's something else too. What if PS5 decided to go with game cards? I'm all in favor for that. Because then they could set the speed to be as fast as the SSD, and then you don't have to wait for it to install or copy or nothing. So yeah, let's go. I'm hoping for game cards. Keep the drive on there so that you can do, because they did say you're going to be able to do 4K Blu-rays, but that would be a shock, wouldn't it? If all of a sudden they're like, and here's a game card that has 6 gigabits per second loading times and can be linked directly to the CPU in lieu of RAM. I would love to do that. I'm gonna try to say that like Peter Griffin. You know what really grinds my gears? So that was a horrible impression, sir. Game companies that release complete editions that have the DLC, that has the codes for the DLC instead of them being on disc. 100%. I agree with that. Because those editions, let's say 20 years from now, those editions, those Game of the Year editions, Ultimate editions, whatever they want to call them, that have all those DLC included, those packages are going to be worth more for no reason. Because you're not going to be able to download the DLC anymore. And of course I'm thinking about that for way down the line. 4K is the new thing now. Music's interesting. It's kind of downing. Kind of drowning me out a tad. Oh yeah, sorry, let me turn that down. A little bit better. Sorry, I forgot. Each game, the volume is a little bit different. And we will play this for just a little bit. I'm kind of digging the music, and it works for like a podcast kind of environment where you can have it playing in the background and do that. So yeah. 4K is the new thing now. Music's interesting, drowning me on a tad. Make sure I read everything else. Yep, they break us how fast the disc load. We already saw that. My front porch light just turned on. Sorry if I looked over there. I'd really miss physical media if it went. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like I said, some of these game companies, for licensing issues or companies going bankrupt or, you know, IP switching around. They have to have a way to preserve game history, and physical media is about the only way to ensure that. That's why, like right now, all of this early 90s shareware stuff that almost never had a physical release, there are sites devoted to trying to find all of these pieces of software that people grew up with and loved playing, because they almost disappeared. LGR has been a huge supporter of that, and if you don't know, if you haven't seen that channel at all, not that I do shoutouts much for that stuff, he doesn't need any because his content is awesome, and he actually does a lot behind the scenes to ensure that that stuff still survives, so good on him, and if I'm ever in that opportunity to do that, I would encourage that as well. I'll try to do that myself. Let's see here. Capcom. I like how you didn't specifically point someone out. Alright. 6 months ago, you got a 4K TV 52-inch. Nice. PS5 is going to be compatible for PS4, so I doubt it. Yeah, so they'll need the disc drive for backwards compatibility and 4K Blu-ray. But, I mean, have it as an option. Game developers, if you want to use a game card, please don't make it proprietary. Please make it like, you know, be smart about it. Instead of using a disc, do that instead, because you're going to get faster, possibly faster install times. It won't take as long for the game to initially load. Like right now, too, it really irritates me. The Xbox, every game takes forever to get started. It just, I don't know, that's something I found irritating when I was playing some of those games. I had to install them before I played them on stream, because I'm like, if I wait till the stream, it's just going to take me forever. Scratch what you said, the music is perfect. Oh, sorry, it's probably too soft now. What about Flash games? Yes, that's something else I thought too. Archive.org will probably be the place to do that, because somebody mentioned there's an initiative, someone's trying to do something where you can launch a virtual machine, a virtual browser, that will run inside of your browser to keep you protected from Flash, all of its security vulnerabilities. So, but yeah, good point. There's going to have to be some way to archive all those and somehow physically keep those. By the way, this is something completely off topic before I get started on this. This will be the last little story I have here. Again, my Switch is letting me know I'm taking too long. One of the things I used to do as a kid, excuse me, back in, gosh, what was that, 2000, 2001-ish, we had a 56K modem, so Flash was amazing, because you could download this game, it'd take a little while, like let's say a 1 or 2 megabyte little Flash file would load in the web page, and it would take a little while, sometimes up to 20 minutes. Like when the video game director's cuts guy who did Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom, I know I'm throwing some throwbacks there if you guys have seen those. If you haven't seen Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom from video game director's cuts, Google it. You probably won't be able to watch the Flash thing anymore, but it's on YouTube. Definitely give that a look-see. You may not be disappointed. It's just, I used to watch that back in the day, but it would take forever to load. It was like a 4 or 5 megabyte Flash file, and it would take forever to download. So what I would do is I would look into my temporary internet files folder, and I would drag them out and save them somewhere. But if the file was small enough, if it was below 1.44 megabytes, I used to save them to a floppy disk, and I would have like a row of floppy disks. Here are the Flash games that I had on the internet that I want to play again, that I don't want to re-download. That's just something that's crazy to think now, that I used to save all those to floppy disk back in the early 2000s. And today, I don't even know how you would save those games, if there's a way you can do that or not. Never even tried it. Alright. Somebody told me this game's not that good, so now I'm not even sure if I want to do it. Should I do a time? I'm going to do a time trial first so I can get used to the controls. I want green. Okay. So it looks like I have to get good at this game to even continue through it, so let's just start this. Oh, not yet. Here's accelerate. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh. Wow, it's like a 3D style, Oh. Okay. That's a little irritating. This reminds me of like Rings of Power on Crash Bandicoot, kind of. This is an interesting concept. What's weird about it is that this is supposed to be like a racing game, but there's no clear track. It's kind of hard to explain the strategy that would be required to this. It really slows down the racing part of the game and puts you more into strategy. Like, I don't know where the game ends. Whoops, it's like, see, like right here. And the control's a little bit off. So again, this game was 39 cents. The graphics are okay, but look at how like warped everything is. I think that's a result of the and then the edges are kind of blurry. I'm sure that's an aesthetic choice, but it's probably hiding some of the unpolished graphics. Like, it's not like a AAA title. I almost feel like I'm playing like a prototype game. Now I'm wondering, like, how long is the track? Or am I making laps? Here it is, finish. Here we go. So player 1, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. I can retry it. So, online. Retry. That's interesting. Probably that one. I want to go back to stage selection. There we go. Nope, that was retry. Return to main menu. Alright, let's try a race. It should be the same thing again, right? We're gonna go easy because I have no idea. Oh, I didn't even know about. I forgot about the tilt. So I'm assuming these are computer opponents, right? I'm not racing like some other people online. If this doesn't work out, maybe I will do some. I want up here. Yep, see? I have to... Yep. And now I'm stuck. And have no idea where to go. Oh, the checkpoint changed. Just automatically. And I feel like I'm in last place. I am in last place. Everyone else has already gone around me. So that was very quick. Okay, I can see where the other racers are, but I don't think I'm going to catch up. Missed the checkpoint. So how many of these am I allowed to miss? And how does that affect my ranking? Gotta tell you, I don't think we're going to see this game as much as we saw some of the retro games. I hate to say it, but those feel like they were designed better. The physics are what kind of destroy the gameplay for me here. I mean, I know that's kind of the thing, like a full 3D... And it said I missed the checkpoint, but I thought I hit it. Missed it again. So I can miss 10 of them, it looks like. Wow. And you know what's funny is that I wasn't even too far off of the pace of the first person. Are these real people's names? I don't think so. Anyway. So I have to... Nope. I'm not doing that again. Let's see what multiplayer looks like. Is there an online thing? Nope. So, online would probably help this game out a little bit, and they don't have it. And I'm not gonna try that again. Man, it seems online people didn't like this game. Yeah, waiting for the Superman 64 comment. Not that terrible, because in Superman 64, yeah, you're going through rings, and it reminds me, wow, it does remind me of that a lot, but where it comes in different is that you can still finish the race, even though there's no time limit that runs out. And that's the problem with Superman 64, is that timer runs out so darn quickly. I should blast the music for like 30 seconds, get the FutureGate experience, yeah. This game reminds me of the space level in James Bond Nightfire. Oh, that's an obscure reference, and yes, I agree with that. It's been a long time since I played Nightfire. Yeah, it's strange, the blurred blue background's throwing you off. Yeah, it's... Fantasy Star Online, love it on the Dreamcast. Ooh, that's a good game too. Alright, have it on the Dreamcast. The 4K TV, had to run it for a little bit. The gaming looks like you're in dream state, yeah. Like how a monster views it, yep. How it views its victims. Yeah, the font in this game, yeah. 39 cents. I hate to say it, I don't think it's worth it. Only because I'm already done. And the game I paid a penny for, I could play. It seems like I play for hours. I think, okay, let me be fair with it. It would take some time, but once you master the controls, I think I'd be okay with it. But for now, yeah, I'm not really feeling it, and there's better games to play, let's just say that. I would much rather play... I don't know if you'd be playing this, and one thing it's missing is online multiplayer. If I played this with a second player, I could probably get into it a little bit more. But one player experience right now, and then having to unlock the stage, it'd be a grind. Not even at 39 cents. I'm hesitating to say that because I feel like I may delete this game off of my Switch, and I wouldn't be too sad about wasting 39 cents or the 39 Nintendo points it took to buy this game. So, yep. Sorry, this is a not recommended. 39 cents, do with it if you will. Buy another game for 39 cents. And the funny thing is, this how to play thing, as if it's not that obvious. The controls aren't really terrible, but the physics will throw you off. And one thing I don't like is how easily you can get caught up on that space station. That's just annoying. It's not fun, let's just say that, yeah. You could grind it and get through it, but you're not going to have fun doing it, and that's sorely lacking. Alright. So VSR was a bust. Kid Trip, okay. It's like a standard running game. Definitely play that in tablet mode. Don't play it on a TV. It was playing tricks on my eyes on the 3D. Revenge of the Bird King, if you like Zelda 2, that's a good analogy for it. Mega Man, Blaster Master, that kind of thing, we're on there. So that game didn't last long at all. This one is Q-Yo Blaster. And I don't remember how much this game was, so we're going to look it up. It's amazing how many indie titles are on the Switch. I mean, like I said, some of these games, too, will never get a physical release, so these are games I wouldn't have tried otherwise. Okay, this game was one of the more expensive ones. This one is usually $9.99 at retail, and I bought it for 99 cents. So this one was one of the more expensive ones. I did get it because it has a retro aesthetic, but I think it's a shooter game. Sorry, I don't care about the story, so I'm just speeding right through it. And you can clearly tell here, like this with this artwork, I'm just going to pause for a second. The artwork here looks like they hand drew it, or yeah, they made it and then pixelated it to make it look retro. So it doesn't look like it was made using retro graphics. Looks like that they created it on something else and then messed with an art filter to make it look like it was retro. Not to be too critical. So this intro screen here kind of reminds me of a Neo Geo title. I'm liking the music. It has like a synthwave kind of vibe to it, and it goes with a pink and blue background. Very, very late 80s, early 90s. Bruh, Mr. Cheeks, lol, yeah. Hey, Becca, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Does be like, mission failed. We will get him next time. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't really care for that one. That's why I said it feels like the game was incomplete, is the best way I could say that. We just got done playing a game called VSR Racing. I don't know what the VSR stands for. It was only 39 cents, and I may have been a bit harsh. I said I wouldn't recommend it for 39 cents. But actually, that was the first game out of the pile that I said I wouldn't enjoy. What's sad is, too, and I know people are going to say this, maybe thinking this, I didn't like it because it wasn't a retro game. No, that's not the... Like, here's another one, too. I'm already telling you things I like about it. That does appeal to me, but if the game's not any good, I'm still not going to like it. I'm still not going to recommend it. So, unfortunately, the only 3D game I bought so far was not any good. I didn't care for it. There are better games out there. Save your 39 cents. Save that up for, 39 cents every day for a couple months and then buy Mario Kart. But anyway, this is Q-Yo Blaster. Never played it before. I have no idea the history. This one was one of the more expensive titles at $1 or 99 cents. Looks like something on Genesis. It kind of reminded me of that, except for the reason why I went with Neo Geo was because of the scaling of the logo back and forth. That's stuff that some of the Neo Geo titles did. I really like the retro aesthetic they're going for on here. Let's see what the options are. So, nothing with difficulty. Let's just start. Classic or Arcade Extreme. And I'm not able to choose Arcade Extreme, so that must be the hard mode. Select your difficulty. Beginner, Little Butterfly, or Normal, El Macho. Well, I'm a little butterfly when I'm on stream and trying a game out for the first time. Alright, so we've got Blood Presence. I don't know what this means. Boom, endurance damage. Microwave, endurance. Let's just go with the default. Yeah, and see, the scaling in and out was not something I would see on the Genesis. I do agree with you on some of the aesthetic, like the screen borders and stuff, but that anything with scaling and rotation does not, takes me off of the Genesis. Okay, these two are exactly the same. This one does more damage, but has a slower speed. Rear fire. This one has no damage, but can fire and move around real quick. I'm tempted for the Weirdertron versus one of these two, which looks like Snake, or Kirusu. Yeah, let's just go with default. I don't know what any of this means yet until I try the game. So, how to play. Good. Alright, so I know you guys are gonna say I'm only liking the retro games, but this game is speaking my language. Hold B to make a special attack. Oh, okay. What am I doing? Y to launch a pulse. Okay. I'm gonna forget half of these controls when I'm actually playing. Interesting. This reminds me of like a Genesis title. Mr. Cheeks. I think it's time to destroy the invader. Now that you mentioned that name to me, I wasn't really paying attention to the story, but when you said Mr. Cheeks, I thought, huh. Void Space Racing, thank you. Let's see here. Your 40-year-old Atari 2600 power adapter finally came in. I'm sorry, finally died. Do I recommend any third-party adapters? Should I try to find another old one? The hard part is going to be finding that plug that fits in right. But yeah, there are modern replacements. Sadly, I haven't had to look that up in a while. So I don't have any recommendations for you. But yes, definitely look for a modern power supply. Just make sure you're probably going to have to buy one that does more than one. It's going to be one of those multiple power supplies. Have you seen those? Where you can switch the voltage from 1 to 12 or something like that. Just make sure you set it to the right voltage, and you should be fine. The problem is, yeah, the power jack is like a headphone jack. So getting one of those is going to be kind of an issue. Actually, hang on a second. Yeah, just look for... what am I trying to think of? Do a quick Google search and just see if anyone actually is making a replacement Atari 2600 power adapter and try to get one of those. But I always recommend newer power supplies because when power supplies fail, they could take the console with you. So that's why I recommend not going for those aging power supplies. Just my 2 cents. I was trying to think, it's called Retro something. Retro Tech? No. Retro Link, I think, makes power adapters for like the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, and all that stuff. Pretty sure that they have to have one for Atari too. I would start there. Shoutouts to my fellow butterflies, yep. Otherworldly. Got Otherworldly for Switch for 69 cents. Really? I'll have to try that out. No one can help their taste. It looks good. Was that cool? I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to the story at all. Was that a hamster? And that looks like a shark. So like I said, it's like all these cartoony characters that you would see in the early to mid-90s. You could tell that these games, part of the reason why I think they were made well, is because you can tell in the final product the passion that they have for games like these. And look at this, I'm flying around like someone's... looks like a lab of some sort. See, like right here, this is what made me buy the game. I saw like the animation thing with like the computer screen in the background. And I thought, okay, look at all this stuff that's flying around. And it really reminded me of something like, ooh, like the shooting games in Cuphead. So, there we go. Yeah, like these animations here, even though these aren't hand-drawn, these look like early computer animation, they're very smoothly animated. Ooh. Okay. This is Mr. Garrison, the ambassador. Oh. Okay. So, somehow when I used my, what do they call that? When I got enough energy to use my special power there, it just automatically used it, and now I'm stuck with a very weak gun. I did not care for the automatic downgrade there. But yeah, this is... it has some Genesis vibes to it, but the animations and the smoothness of it have Neo Geo written on it to me. This is kind of nostalgic for that reason. Okay, this is Rob. And you see a robot? Rob the robot? Okay, increase speed, reduce bullet dispersion, increase bullet speed. Do I get more than one? Nope. But I do want the faster speed. And what's funny is I can use the directional pad or the, yeah, see like the animated backgrounds. You would never see that on the Genesis. Not even the Sega CD or the 32X would have all that. Gotta get like... There we go. Oh, sheesh. I thought I already hit the final boss again. So part of this does remind me of like those shooting Cuphead stages in terms of difficulty, but I mean, I'm getting through this okay. Next time, remind me to go with a... I don't know about increased damage, but faster shooting speed. Come on. Okay, I wasted that. Oh, Queen of the 6th floor. Oh, sheesh. Oh. Wow, that attack. With all 400 of those. Oops, I'm already out of... Okay. I just beat the boss when that happened, too. Let's see here. Avoid space reason. Mission failed. We will get Tyler next time, yeah. I was just about to say Cuphead. Oh, yep, it does remind me of that. Did I get Hyper Sentinel for 19 cents? I may have. The reason why I say I may have is because I do not remember if I bought it. There was 2 versions of the Hyper Sentinel game, right? I think I got one or the other. I could have gotten both. PS1 pixel art along with MIDI files and MS Paint give me the will to live. That is an intriguing concept for a game. I wish Redout got physical releases on the Switch. Oh yeah, I got the physical... I actually got that on a Xbox One. I think it was Xbox One, yeah. It didn't get one on the Switch, though. That's interesting. Killing Hornets. Are you Conquer the Squirrel? That's what I said. This is a hodgepodge of influences. Either that or I'm just reading too much into this stuff. Like, this is the Conker's Bad Fur Day of shooters? I don't know. I will say this, I did not look at the game ratings on these. I want bullet speed, right? Extra ammunition and weapons, I don't know what that is. Get a free pulse if you don't have one when you die. Extend the duration of items on the screen. I think I want the increased bullet speed. Okay, that didn't really seem to make a difference, but whatever. What do I know? So, yep, I can already tell you. This one was $1. This is one of the more expensive ones. And if you're a fan of these early 90s shooters, definitely give this one a try. I feel like I've already gotten $1 worth of enjoyment out of it just by going through here. And keep in mind, I'm playing this on the easiest difficulty possible. I am the butterfly. And I'm having some fun with it. Yeah, it's a little bit too easy, but I'd rather have the too easy than too hard. Right now. When I go to grind, I would switch the difficulty up a little bit. So I think I need to quit hitting those balloons. How about that? Yeah. Oh. This guy is... Oh, jeez. Yes, this looks like it was designed. This game looks like it was designed to... perhaps by programmers who thought, man, I wish when we were making those games back in the day that we had all the processing power and graphics power of all the current gen systems. Who knows what we could have accomplished with that? Oh, come on. Chasing this thing around. Because I really get that vibe of... Imagine what we could have done had we had the processing power back then that we do today. almost got it. I have the feeling that the higher difficulty levels... Oh, I almost had him, too. That the higher difficulty level is only going to increase the speed of those bullets. And this is kind of good practice to get used to that, too. Flashback is 99 cents on the Switch. I saw that, and if I didn't already own it for like a couple of other consoles, one of them being the Sega CD, I probably would have bought it again, but since I already own it and I'd rather play it on the old consoles, I didn't buy it. I would recommend it. What's this called again? This is called Q-Yo Blaster. It's Q-YO Blaster. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. I don't know if I've tried to do that yet. It is 99 cents on the Nintendo Switch at the moment. And it is one of the more expensive of the cheaper games. And yeah, I can spend some time on this. Reduce bullets dispersion. I don't know what that means. I'll have to read that later if you're watching. Extend the duration of items on screen. Get a free pulse when you die. Extra ammunition and weapons. Well, let's do that. So we're already at stage 4 here. Keeping in mind I'm on easy difficulty, so if I'm showing too much of this game and you think I should quit, let me know. See, like these animations here and this, like, concept, this reminds me a lot of Cuphead. Except Cuphead had the... Oh, jeez. I was just about to say it had the annoying randomness to it to keep you from learning the pattern. I don't know what this background is all about here. But that one thing I thought when I watched the video for this game, I really thought to myself that the backgrounds would be too distracting, and I wouldn't know where the projectiles were on screen. So far, in the easy mode, that has not been an issue. I've been very... It's actually been easier... Darn it. I have 8 credits, so let's continue. It's actually been pretty simple to... Ooh, I don't know what that does, but I just lost it anyway, so... It's actually been pretty easy to distinguish what's supposed to be background and what are projectiles that are actually shooting at you. Again, that's only on the easy difficulty. This is the space switch. So you can tell this thing has certain phases, and yeah, I have the feeling that when you up the difficulty, just the projectiles are going to fly quicker. Because these are pretty easy to dodge now. And the hitboxes are actually very forgiving at the moment. Oh no. See, yeah, now these fists are going to come out. What I don't like is it seems like your power-ups to your weapons seem to wear off. So it's not like some of those early shooters where you could just power up your weapon and then the game becomes a breeze. Okay. Oh. Come on, I need that. Come on, I need that. There we go. No! The start button is a little sensitive. I think we're about done. Alright. It's been another half hour. Should I keep going on this one? Yeah, Flashback on PC, and I'm confused. You're not the only one, which is also another reason why I am not buying it again. Once you know the nooks and crannies of that game, it becomes a lot easier. And yes, it is nostalgic, but that game is... I mean, it's just... You have no idea what to do. It's a game of exploration. Is Mr. Cheeks the hamster? I should have been paying attention to this. This looks really good. I'm having fun with it. I really am. Have I seen Flashback on Atari Jaguar? I have not. Is that Jaguar CD, I'm assuming? Oh no, it's strange. The game is on a cartridge, but the menu of the guy is standing on a CD like the 3DO version. Interesting. You're going to redeem some of your unredeemed games for Nintendo Gold points. Buy the game, but it's not... It's not 1 year from when you redeemed the game. It's 1 year from the game's release. Oh, really? Oh. That's interesting. So I should probably... I have a few games that I bought for the Switch I haven't opened yet. I bet you... Let's see here. Cancer and reproductive harm warning. Yeah, I bet you these games have been out for over a year, so I probably won't get any points for them. That makes sense, because then they know how many points to give you. But to answer your question, no, I have not seen a Flashback on Atari Jaguar. No thing. You want me to go on to no thing? I think I have that, but I'm not quite sure. So let me look through my library and see if I got that. That projectile was unavoidable. It's up to you if you want to push through, though. Yeah, I had fun with this one. I will come back to it. The thing is, I don't want to keep playing it on... See, I think you have to play it all the way through is the thing. Let's do that. I'll play one more level, and then I'll have to quit. I don't want to play through it all the way on easy and then have to come back to it, because I won't be motivated to beat it again. For 99 cents, this is worth it. Easy mode is easy enough for a little kid to come in through and play it. It'll be challenging for them, I'm sure. Here I am, an adult, playing this on butterfly mode. I like it. I like it, though, because this is right up my alley, because I just... Oh, darn it. I just got done playing all of those, I just got done playing all of those great shooter games on the Sega Genesis. And... Yeah, I am... Oh! I am really liking these. I just wasted that, I'm sure, but... That looks like Steamboat Willie. Okay. Yeah, I'm not out of credits yet, but... Man. It is starting to get tough. Which I'm assuming... Do I have enough to... Nope. Okay, so it just eventually goes away. The music's good, the aesthetic's good, it's very cartoony, I guess is the only thing I could say is a downside to it. I have to keep in mind that, you know, keep in mind this is from someone who was just playing 90s game consoles for a while, because that's what I enjoy playing more of. Oh, jeez. Some of those missiles act like they home. Yeah, see, I'm starting to go through the credits now, so this will probably be the last one I'm able to beat, if I have the patience. Look at that pattern. Okay, I keep trying to use that third attack. There we go. But it's not, I was say it's not letting me. I think we're dead. Alright. And then there's more story. Yep. So I don't want to beat this game all the way through, but I think 5 stages of that on normal difficulty would be fine. And I think by the end you'll have all these different power-ups, so... Good game. I definitely... Yeah, it is tough. And remember, that's on easy difficulty, but I think the only reason why I'm doing so good at it is, even on that difficulty, is because I've been playing a whole bunch of those recently on Sega Genesis, so... And the hitbox is very forgiving. I will say that. So yeah, that was definitely worth 99 cents as one of the more expensive ones. And again, that wasn't one that showed up in my list when I was looking at stuff. I think I was looking at games under 50 cents, but that one was definitely worth it for 99 cents. Originally retailing $9.99. Alright, so Thief Simulator I did get. That was actually a game I was interested to buy until I saw it was $20. And I said, oh, when it goes on sale sometime, I'll get it. But I think it was $1.99 this time. I also got Motor Rush GT, and this is for if I don't finish all of these games. Croc's World, I have played that on tablets. That was a mobile game, for sure. But I do enjoy playing it. I think I had it for... I bought it for the Apple TV, I think, initially. And there's a controller that you can hook up to that and play games on it. People kind of forget that that was supposed to be kind of a game console, too. Yep, here's Hyper Ride, which I think somebody asked about earlier. This is a puzzle game, Estiman, so we may get to that. There's Hyper Ride Vector Raid. Those are 2 separate games. Here's No Thing, so I did buy that. Lines XL, which I'll show you that a little bit. That's a puzzle game, but it reminds me of another game that I had on my Android phone. So, a game called Mr. Blaster. I have no idea what it is. I just saw the name Mr. Blaster, and I thought, that could be a good game. Just because of the name. Bubble Cat's Rescue. No idea what that game is. There's Hyper Sentinel. Somebody had asked about that, so we may play that before we're done here. Deadly Fighter 2, which I don't know what that really is. Go Fish Go. Classic Games Volume 1. And again, most of these, if not all of these, were under $1. Some along the lines of 19 cents to 30 cents. Somewhere in those. Timberman Versus, which I think would probably be more fun with 2 players. I may just pull that out for when I have guests over. Just Glide. The description of this game got me. It is a game that it said, have you ever folded up a paper airplane and thrown it? That's this game. That's all the description said. And so I'm like, alright, I'll give it a try. And then Flow Lines Versus. So, not necessarily in this order, but that's all of the games that I got. For less than $1. And that took care of all of my Nintendo Rewards points. So I could have, for one, what was I going to say here? Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the stream. Is that the same as Croc from Croc Aeronaut on PS1? No, it is not. Croc's World is completely different. It's a side-scrolling platformer. I think it is completely separate franchise. It was an indie title for mobile phones back in the day. Let's try Lines XL. I'm going to try to get through as many of these as I can. Just kind of show them to you. So Lines XL, this is a game I would definitely recommend playing on the tablet, on the Switch tablet. You're going to see here why in a second. I'm not sure that expensive. Let's go here and type this in. This is called Flow Lines XL. Right? No, I'm sorry, just Lines XL. And again, it's like a mobile phone game. Probably not something you would play on your Switch too often. Definitely better to use the tablet interface where you can just draw with your finger. And it was 19 cents. Usually $1.99. So for 19 cents, time waster game. If you don't have a cell phone, or if you're a kid that doesn't have a cell phone, I definitely recommend that game. I was surprised that it was a game that I would recognize. Whoops. Wait a minute. Make sure I don't have to save something in here. Let's see how ridiculous this gets. There are 500 levels. Here's level 500. This is going to take some time for you to figure out how to get every single dot occupied and do that. So it does get challenging. I kind of did some of the first few that I knew how to do just to show you, oh yeah, this is the concept of the game. This would take me a while to figure out. The problem is, I'm sure you can get online on YouTube and see a walkthrough and you can figure out exactly how to do it there. Yeah, there's just... Once you figure out how to connect one, the rest soon follow. But yeah, I'm not even going to attempt that on this stream because it's not going to be very interesting to watch. But Lions XL, 19 cents, that's a recommend. And that's not a retro game. So, let's go back to all software here. Let's see, what was the next thing I was going to do? So this is Flow Lines Versus. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Somebody mentioned Hyper Sentinel, so I'm going to do that next. Will it replace the best puzzle game of all time, Super Pocket Fighter? No. No, but like I said, for 19 cents, I wouldn't expect it to either. So we're back on the retro feel games. Again, these are all just cheap. It's not just because they were my preference. Press any button to begin. We can do a tutorial, but let's just give it a shot. I think this is another shooter. Mode arcade, skill normal. Can I do I have a butterfly skill here? Okay, it says skill retro, but in my mind, retro means hard. So retro, is that the hardest, or is that the easiest? Let's just go with normal. Putting way too much thought into it. Destroy ground targets. Okay, so this, I remember this now. This is kind of like a cross between, whoops, Defender and, it was like a side, and, Defender and, not Fantasy Zone? Fantasy Zone, yeah. That's what I was trying to think of. And this one's kind of neat. Don't really know if it would be my... Oh, I got hit. Okay, I like how it's pointing to things that I'm missing, because I really don't know. Here we go. Power up on my gun. Guardian detected, whatever that means. Oh. So it definitely has the retro feel. Taking hit points left and right. But there we go. How much was Hyper Sentinel? This one I think was recommended to me. That I get at one point in time. Yeah, that's not gonna be a high star. I'm not really getting good reviews according to the game here. This game was 15 cents, down marked from $7.99. So 15 cents, not a bad deal. We'll try one more level here, and then I'm gonna try to squeeze into a few more here. I have a time limit for how long I can be on tonight, so unfortunately we're coming down closer than I thought. Down to this, so I'm gonna try to speed through as many more of these as I can. do like the retro feel of it, but I do... I don't know. Ooh, I'm almost dead. Didn't even realize that. Oh, I am dead. Game over. So, an interesting thing here. Oh, I had great satisfaction for Super Puzzle Fighter. Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to go ahead and quit that. Because you guys get... The game is just more of that. So, an arcade-style feel, I don't know if I would get that. Yeah, very interesting art style is a good thing. So, it kind of reminds me of like Fantasy Zone meets kind of Defender-ish kind of thing. It's definitely not a style of game I thought would make a comeback, or I thought I would find nostalgic. But yeah, it's not going to provide the modern gamer that likes feeling a sense of accomplishment. I don't know if it's going to provide that for people who want to play this game, so that is Hyper Sentinel. 19 cents. Thought it was worth it for that price. I could probably grind that a bit more, but again, now we're on a time crunch for me. Let's see, somebody had also mentioned No Thing, so let's try No Thing. I believe this was another... Alright, this Forever Entertainment Company kept coming up too. Evil Indie Games. Oh yes, this game has a very interesting concept. It's almost like this game is an anti-game. I said, if you like this game, you may like the Stranger Things the game. Yep, this was also 19 cents, so that's why I got it. The graphic style is going to have a bit of a retro feel to it. I honestly have no idea what to expect from this game.
Level 1, our simplest part. You have to deliver a message to the Queen of Ice. Level 1, turn left. Then turn right.
So basically, I'm just walking along a line, and that's it.
You just, your shoes are shining. But I know who you are.
That's it. Now I gotta start again.
Level 1, turn left. Then turn right.
It's kind of like a reflex game here.
Your steps.
This is about what I thought it was going to be. It's a very interesting art style
Your shoes are shining.
that's not particularly appealing to me, but it is unique. And it kind of got me interested in the game.
But I know who you are.
And then the 1990s version of Mac Talk is talking to you the whole time.
I am you and in you now.
And it basically just keeps speeding you up,
I know that is
making your reflexes go a little bit quicker.
the air went bad.
Like that. And there it is. That was 33%. So I gotta start that again, and it starts me right at the beginning. Is that it?
Level 1, turn left. Then turn right.
Oh, okay, I've been using the directional pad, but maybe it's easier to use the triggers.
Watch your steps. You just have one track. Your shoes are shining.
I feel like this game is literally nothing. The game is called No Thing.
I am not on your side. I am you and in you now.
I feel like the game is talking to you to try to distract you. I'm not really paying attention to anything it says.
I know that is strange. The air went bad. You do not want. And I have the same.
This genre of running games that didn't exist before mobile phones and now does exist on every other platform. Okay, this is getting weird.
I know what you did.
It's like graphical glitches are now coming into play.
So knows that we.
Again, it's all
You
designed
are simple message.
to keep you.
I am yours then. The rebels are
I
talking
feel
to
like I'm going in a circle.
Avast,
Am I going in a circle?
that girl. Did you see?
There we go. Yeah. This is only one level. I got 57%. I'm not willing to do that again. Yeah, use the triggers to move. That did work out a lot better. Did you actually get... didn't you get actually a Macintosh? So, that's a good question, OXO. Yes, I did. You probably saw that in my first Comic-Con style event that I went to. Let's just say, not this week, but next week you should be seeing that Mac again. For better or for worse. I know it might divide some people, but I did do something with the Mac. My first goal was to restore it. That did not work out, so I'm trying something different with it. That's all I'm going to say for now. But yes, thanks, Savage Duck. The triggers do work out better. I may do that one more time, but it is very tricky. You definitely don't want to use the directional pad. I don't know what the other numbers mean. What's 83:57%? An unboxing vid you think you watched? Okay, so yeah. I did the... Oh, you know what? It was probably when I showed everything that I got from that trip. It's probably when I did that, yeah. But yep, I got a Macintosh Classic. I'm sorry, Macintosh Plus. Which is a bit older than the Classic, kind of surprisingly. Is this video game on acid? Yes. Very interesting art style. It'll be great to continue this segment if you want. Highly interested if you decide to come back to it. Yeah, it's kind of a... Alls it is, though, the only thing is, it's an interesting art style, which I'm assuming that's what's going to keep you addicted, but it's a very simplistic game concept. Because alls it is just a... Seeing like those glitches you're seeing on the screen, that reminds me a lot of the... Whoops! Of early 90s FMV artifacts. But the game is literally just a reflex action. How quickly and how much endurance can you muster to keep clicking the right button at the right time? I do not care for this 90s FMV glitch.
I am now on your side. I am you and in you now. I know that is strange. The air went bad. You do not want. And I have the same.
It's kind of interesting that this ends up being one of the games that everyone wants to see. See, and that Benjamin Franklin head that keeps popping up is what makes me think I'm going in a circle, but I think that's so it throws you off with the pattern.
I know what you did. And so knows
And the color changes and everything, and the random odd jumps.
you are simple message.
Picture of looks like Stalin.
The rebels are talking too much. Avast. That girl.
Oh, turned too late. Did I get as far as the last time? I don't think I did. 56%? I don't remember what it was before. Oh my gosh, let me see here. Missed some of the chat. First person to collect the blue spheres, Sonic 1, but Sonic EXE and weird. Did I get the actual Macintosh? Okay, I did read some of these, but let's see, I see, cool. I find this game addictive. It does get fast, and yes, I think on a grind, I would probably, again, kind of a time waster thing. I could definitely see the appeal to it, but what I get from me is, besides the reflexes, it's kind of, I guess, it has the same gameplay element as like Simon. Repeat the pattern, know exactly where you're going. You do that. Says, I'm sorry, P1, if you streamed more bargain bin switch diving. LOL, great stream, bro. Oh, no problem. Hey, happy to, you are going in a circle. Alright, so I thought about that. So, how do I get out of there? Is there a button I'm supposed to do? Do I like cheese? It depends. If I'm not usually grinding enough to get to the cheese, I will say that. So that was no thing. Was there another game I was supposed to do? Let's do Bubble Cat's Rescue, just because I was kind of curious about that. We are coming down to the end of the stream here because I'm almost out of time. I gotta stop streaming by 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time because I still have some work to do for my second job. But cool small games. Bubble Cat's Rescue. It just seemed interesting as a puzzle game, so I decided to go ahead and try it. One of the next streams I'm going to have to... Okay, this is kind of weird that it's in a 4:3 ratio. Save all the kittens. So yeah, if I'm right, this is like the Bubble Pop style of game. Yep. It's going to be very simplistic at first. It seems like something that would frustrate people. There we go. Yeah, see, it's kind of like a Bubble Pop kind of thing, but only with cats, so... That thief looked interesting, yep. If I had more time to stream, I would start at this stream, but I may have to save that for another one. Thief Simulator is an interesting game. I have not tried it yet, but I remember when I heard it was a download-only title. Oh, he'll catch you a little later. Oh, thanks for joining me, Mackenzie. You've been here for about the whole time, too, so... Yes, extra mature cheese. I like water-based cheeses. This game does not look like it was made for the Switch. This looks like a Flash game, like with all the loading screens and everything. Looks like a game that was basically made for that era of gaming. Okay. And then right here. So like I said, very simple puzzle concept. I don't know how you deal with this. But it's weird that it's 4:3 in some areas and 16:9 in others. So it seems like it was very poorly ported to the Switch. But like I said, this is probably much longer. I'm going to stay on this. It reminded me of like a Bubble Pop style game, and I think I was correct. Alright, so here's one where I have to use bait. And now... that takes care of all that. Oh no, I only got 2 stars. Well, I got to do that again. So yeah, and this also seems like something where you'd watch an ad after every single time that you watched it. But since the Nintendo Switch doesn't do that, yeah. I had a nightmare once where I was trapped in a room and the only thing I had was a phone, and all it did was play one of those Bubble Pop games. Yeah, sorry if this is slow going torture for you. This is just, like I said, it's... let me take a look at this. What is this game called again? I only bought it because it's Bubble Cat's Rescue. This is a game that may be forgotten in a few years. Let's see what the price of this is right now. Okay, so this game is no longer on sale. I know I bought it for less than $1, but it says it's $3.99 now. Up to you. I wouldn't recommend it for that price. There's so many free versions of this game out there right now, it is not even funny. So, not recommending that game unless it's, like I said, 99 cents or less. What else do I got here? This one was interesting. Let's go ahead and try it. Another puzzle game. Doctors hate this doctor's doctor. His doctor explains why. Yep, that exactly Thief did look interesting. LOL. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to get into it because it's going to take some time to play. And it was also one of the more expensive games. That one was over $1. So maybe in the next stream that I do with these. So this is called Estiman, and basically the point of this game is you have to go in order 1, 2, 3, and then keep going. So select the most numerous object. So that's going to be the triangle, and then I'm counting. Where is it? There we go. Okay, squares. Not triangles. This could be like a logical reasoning thing to help with someone who has like a Alzheimer's, maybe? No, I picked the wrong one. So we're just going to stop it right there. Just to give you an idea. So I picked it because it was cheap. Uh-oh, you lost me. My Wi-Fi drop again. Yeah, the stream started acting weird. It's back. Yeah, we're coming down to the end of it anyway, so I'm not quite sure exactly how much it's gonna keep going. Usually I don't have these issues, but it has dropped a couple times tonight. When I stream downstairs, that's a hardwired connection, so I usually have less issues with it. Excuse me. It's weird. I haven't gone through more than a can of soda during this stream. But anyway, there's another simple puzzler. I think that one may still be on sale. So far, I don't... Except for this Void Space Racing game, I don't think I would delete any of those other ones. No Thing is definitely intriguing. It's a neat game concept. I will definitely be back for that one. Time Waster thing. Hyper Sentinel's a 50-50 for me. I'm not quite sure... I mean, again, they're so cheap. How can I really be splitting hairs like this? Let's go ahead, and I think I got enough time for a couple levels of Croc's World. Because somebody asked me about that, and they asked if it was a continuation of Croc. I think you're back, yep. So yeah, let me know if this thing keeps giving you issues. So I have played this before, but I've never played it on the Switch. And sorry, I forgot, how much was this worth? I think they usually are on sale for something like $4.99 or something like that. That's what they were normally. I think I paid $1.99 on my iPhone for it at one point. And this one currently is 99 cents. Does that sound like... I think that sounds right. Well, that might be what I bought it for. Because, yeah, it says $4.99 was what it was originally. So this is like a simple platformer. And the reason why I didn't like it on mobile phones is because I kept wishing I had a controller. So that's what made me think when it was cheap for the Switch, I should try getting it for the Switch. You're now able to crush stones with your helmet. How do I do that? Do I have to come up from the bottom? I do. So I'm crushing these Gary-looking animals here. Sorry for the SpongeBob reference. And I will say he feels a lot more floaty than I remember him. Now I can throw stones, so yeah. This game was like a Mario clone for phones, pretty much for a while. So the art style looks very simplistic. It doesn't look bad upgraded to full thing here. Definitely, probably, it looks like it could use some polish. Ah, I'm limited on my stones. So I'm thinking when they released it for the Switch, yeah, they probably could have fixed a couple things, like sometimes my jump button's a bit too sensitive. But this is a lot easier on my Switch with a controller, and it is a lot easier on the Apple TV because I don't like the touch controls. See, that's the thing, like when I click to continue, it automatically threw a rock. So I would call that poor, poor design. That could probably be fixed in a patch, but it doesn't seem like they were worried about their reputation when they made this game. Okay, there's a little checkpoint. So yeah, considering what this game is, I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it for Switch. 99 cents may not have been worth it, especially if you already own this for mobile. Oh no! I couldn't even see that. Oh, now I lost all my power-ups. So here's my helmet. It's actually been a little while since I played this game, so I completely forgot how this is supposed to be working. Now I've got some rocks again. Like, this is like a Flash game that went professional. Sorry, I don't know if my stream is even still running. Yep. And as you can see, this does not appear to be related at all to the Croc on PS1. Well, that's a good game. I would love to stream that game sometime. Pretty sure that... I can't remember if that came out on other platforms or not. But if it did, that would also be another one I would try to like to try to stream. Because that's a game that I think I'll... Oh! Okay, apparently... yeah, sorry. I forgot how this game worked for like 0.5 seconds. And now I'm used to, you know what it is? What's throwing me off is I played that game earlier, that running... I almost said run and gun. And it's throwing me off now. This game is, like I said, the control of this game needs some work, but this is still so much easier than trying to play it on my phone. It's not even funny. It takes away almost all the challenge for me. Got rocks. I lost my rocks already. Okay. That does sound like a personal problem, doesn't it? So, if you guys haven't seen Croc's World, that's Croc's World on the Switch. Kid Trip, thank you, T-Tech Trap. You see how bad my memory gets after just 4 or 5 seconds doing that? Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. I think you played the demo or rented it too long ago. Yeah, like I said, when I played this game last was probably when I got my first iPhone, because it was one of the first games I saw that was really cheap, and I had an iTunes gift card, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start playing this. So, for the Switch, there's no reason. I mean, if you're really that cheap, I would rather replay Super Mario Odyssey than play that game again. The sad thing is, I will go back and play this game again, because I have played it on my phone so many times, and every single time I kept thinking I wish I had a controller for it. So I'm not going to play Croc's World 2. Let's try... Oh, I have 3 minutes left. Alright, it's a self-imposed deadline, so this will be the last game. And whenever I'm done, I'm done. Oh, Croc for the PS1, you had rented it? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, how do you rent a mobile game? But yes, now that makes more sense. So, Revenge of the Bird King, I still think is the pick of the lot. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And it looks like... Okay, I was going to say... I would have thought my phone crashed if I had started that game on my phone. So on this one I can play with a computer, play with a friend. Again, I have the feeling this is going to be like a... what is this game? Oh, you know what? Is it a fighting game? I think it's a fighting game. And it looks like... Oh, no! It's like Angry Birds. Or does the thing shoot back at you? Well, I overthrew that. Okay, this is like a flash game. I've seen games like this before. What? I got hit? Alright, yeah, this is a game that's best played on a tablet, so that's not a good one to end with. Let's try... Whoops. Nope, we're not going to that again. Let's try one more. T-Tech Trap, you're usually the one who has all the mobile games as well, so this is probably a refreshing change for you to see games that maybe you might try. See, I know what this game is. I didn't really want to end with it, but let's go ahead and do this. This game is like, for people who... Thanks for the stream, yeah. I'll just show this one too, and I'm not going to play through it because, yeah, we are at the end of the stream. But this game is like all of the games that used to come in those multi-packs. So this is just a simple checkers, Gomaku, which I would call memory. I'm sorry, not memory. What do they call that? Concentration, life. I can't remember what they call that one. Tic-tac-toe, memory, and mines. And this was the draw for me, was mines. Because this is Minesweeper for the Switch. Hey! What's up, Vin? You caught me right at the end here. I'm just now finishing up. I've been showing a whole bunch of different games here, but this is the last one I was going to show. And it is basically the draw for this game compilation pack is that it has Minesweeper. I already lost. Isn't that usually how it goes? Let's do that again. Okay. So if you guys don't know how to play Minesweeper, it's actually a pretty fun game. Alright, that's touching 2. This is only touching 1. And this is only touching 1, so this one has to be free. Okay. This one's only touching 1, so that one has to be free. This one's only touching 1, so that one has to be free. So this is, like I said, this is the draw for me, is that I used to love playing Minesweeper on Windows devices back in the day. So now the key is remembering to switch to the flag before I click. If that's touching 2, see, the key is look at the number and then go all the way around it. This is only touching 1. So that has to be 1, and this one has to be clear. Okay. I'm going to try to go through one round of Minesweeper here. That's touching 3. This one's easy. Okay. So now this one. This is touching 1, which means that one has to be clear. This one's touching 2, so that one has to be clear. Oh, one of those is not a... If that one's touching 2, and this is touching 2... That must be here. There we go. So that's a game of Minesweeper. Yep. You hated this game? I loved this game on PC. I really liked the left click and the right click, so that was a little bit weird to get used to, but... Yeah, so if you don't like this game, I would not recommend this compilation pack. This is just called Great Games Compilation. I think this was 19 cents, and it comes with checkers, tic-tac-toe. I mean, it's basically the games that you used to play on paper, but you couldn't anymore. So it's got checkers, tic-tac-toe, this game, memory, and that other one, which is with the white and black marbles that people used to play, or little white and black pebbles. So, yep, you kind of hit the end of the stream. I had some more action-oriented games that I played just a little bit ago. Um, I don't think anything special, but here are all the games I played in this stream. So I played Revenge of the Bird King, Kid Trip. These two are pretty well even, probably with an advantage going to this one, because this game was a penny, and it is... Yeah, that escalated quick. Do I support communism? No. But I usually try not to do political things on here either. VSR Racing, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing with that right now. Where is it? Manage software. Delete software. Not a fan of the VSR Racing. So that was money wasted. Even at 39 cents. The QYO Blaster, that was another one. Surprising hit. That one was... Yeah, that escalated quick for the communism thing. That one was definitely, I think, another pick of the litter. Lions XL is a puzzle game that is a personal favorite of mine, which is why I bought it. Hyper Sentinel is okay. Kind of a cross between Defender and... I keep forgetting what I'm trying to say otherwise. And like the Final Fantasy Zone, although I don't think it's as very well executed, it's neat. No Thing is something I think I can see myself grinding. It's just a weird concept of a game. This is like a mobile game that you would expect to have ads pop up every single time. So if you have a kid that wants to play those games and you don't want ads, there you go, Bubble Catch Rescue. Estamon is another puzzle-based game. Again, a mobile game that I'm surprised it made it to the Switch. Mr. Blaster is a fighting game that's best played on the tablet. And then we have Classic Games Collection Volume 1. Here's some of the games I did not play, just to feature them one more time here. Thief Simulator, which is an interesting game. If it's still on sale, I recommend it, even though I didn't play it tonight. Definitely would recommend that. Motor Rush GT is one I'd like to try. I did try one of the Hyper Rides, that's good, but the only other game I didn't play... Oh, the only game I didn't play at all was Hyper Ride, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these ones down here. Okay, so it was about 10 games. I could probably split that off into another stream, maybe do that next week, after next week, depending on how I'm feeling. So, you just got the twin stick for the Saturn to play Virtual on. I'm excited. Oh, to play a Virtual Fighter, Virtual Racing. You said the twin stick, so that's probably, I think I know which one that is. Getting the analog twin stick for the PS1 too, on the way too. I saw that twin stick at one of the retro gaming stores before the whole shutdown thing happened. And I've debated on getting it, but at the price that they were asking for it, I'm like, I'm never going to use it. I need to have smarter ways to spend my money. So, that said, Virtual on Cyber Troopers is the name of the game. Okay. Guess I was completely off on that. I was thinking of the Virtua games. So yeah, sorry you missed me. I'm right at the end of the stream here. I actually have to get going. I have a second job that I have to complete before I hit the hay tonight. So thank you everyone who did tune into the stream. I know it was a little bit different. Oh, Mackenzie, you're just in time. I'm actually finishing up here, so I do appreciate you getting the charger back in and doing it. I would usually stream later, but I do have some work to get done tonight, so about a 3.5 hour stream is about all I had time for tonight. Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice of you to stop by. Definitely looking forward to next week where I try to finish these out. Unless you guys would rather see me go back to the Sega 32X and Sega CD games, let me know in the comments. But that said, that is going to wrap it up for this stream. Again, thank you everyone for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate it. Have a great night, and I will see you all in the next one. Let's see what I got here. Is this how I end it?